Good morning, Raptor freaks. Lexi Outs here. It's Friday, and we have another game tonight. In fact, it's an important game. It's an in-season tournament game, and it's Halloween. And happy Halloween. Hope everybody has a safe Halloween. Enjoy yourself responsibly. And if you're out and about, look out for the little kids out trick-or-treating in the evening. So, there's just safety and no weird, stupid stuff happening. Yeah. Also, the Blue Jays are back home to play the Dodgers, the Rangers, in the Game 6 of the World Series, and they could win it tonight. That's why I'm wearing my Raptors champions hat. That's right. Let's get some champion feelings today. Going in Toronto for the Blue Jays to win and get a championship here in the city, World Series championship with the MLB. Yeah, I'll be excited for that. But yeah, first things first, it's a preview day. So it's time to go tell you guys what to expect for tonight's game in Cleveland against the Cavs. And actually, guys, I have good news. We have a chance to win tonight. That's right. In some ways, I'd say this is a very scary matchup. And we've been playing so bad lately. And, things are weird. But we've caught some breaks this morning, guys. And let me tell you why. I'm going to tell you right now. Let's go see the Cleveland injury report. This is what I'm talking about right here. Guys, Darius Garland's already out, right? He's been out. He has had a toe injury, but I don't think he's coming back. He's out for today. Max Strus has been out for a little while because of his foot. He's no longer wearing a walking boot, but he still has a lengthy recovery ahead of him as of right now. Now, Sam Merrill, their sharpshooter off the bench, is out for today's game for sure. He has a right hip contusion. And also, Donovan Mitchell is listed on the injury list. He has a hamstring problem. He's questionable for tonight's game. And Jared Allen is also on the injury list with a finger injury. He's questionable also. So this possibly could mean that the Raptors are facing the Cavs with only one of their four big four. I think it's likely one of them other ones will play. So it's very likely we're going to be playing two out of the four. I'll bet it's no Garland and maybe no Mitchell. And we're playing the two big guys. Or it could be no Garland and no Allen, and we're playing Mitchell and Mobley. Well, we'll be playing Mobley for sure. But the other three guys, Garland is out for sure. But Allen or Mitchell could both be out or both could be in too. So there's a level of what the Cavs are going to be tonight that isn't full strength. They may be missing three out of their four main players. And Sam Hauser's out already for sure. So who are the Cavs this year? Well, Garland, Mitchell, Mobley, and Allen with DeAndre Hunter as the fifth starter at small forward. If there's injuries, Lonzo Ball probably start. He's the new acquisition from last year. Lonzo Ball's not a winning player. In some ways, I love to see Lonzo Ball start for them. And we dog him out and get him to cough with the ball. Jalen Tyson, Dean Wade is still there. Larry Nance Jr. Carrying the legacy of Larry Nance in there. Larry Nance Jr. Craig Porter Jr., Tyrese Proctor, Thomas Bryant, Luke Travers, Naquan Tomlin. And that's pretty much their bench, their backups. Is a bunch of unknown, no-name guys. And if they're missing three or two of their main guys, we have a shot tonight. Think about this. The Raptors have lost 4 games straight, and they're in a bad place. They've heard all this noise in the last couple of days. Leo Routen's coming out like me yesterday and coming after Scotty and IQ in a similar way that I did. I didn't know he was going to do that, and he probably didn't know that I did what I did. But he came out with the unprofessional critique of Scotty and IQ, saying that they can't be doing this Bush League shit if they don't win games. No more looking back at people. No more call me maybe if they're not winning games. And Leo Routens, I respect you for that. And man, he echoed a lot of what I was saying yesterday on the stream and his rant about this yesterday. Leo Routens, voice of the Raptors. So, man, I'm just saying, when winning and losing in basketball, the other side is winning, and you can't lose forever. And, well, why not win an in-season tournament game that's really huge? This is the toughest one out of the 4 that we've got. If we beat the Cavs tonight and we're 2-4 after tonight and we win our first in-season tournament game of the season, I'll bet a lot of Raptors fans will feel a lot better all of a sudden. So let's do this. Scotty, Brandon, RJ, y'all go and do this today. Seriously. You want to get favor back with your fans? You beat the number one team in the East last year in an in-season tournament game tonight. You will get it back. Trust me. You want that back? You want the respect back? You want the ability to say, you know what, I feel good about what we're doing right now again? You need to win tonight. Yeah, and you can. You can. I'm going to tell you right now, you can. Especially if some of the Cavs are going to be sitting out. Maybe the Cavs are cocky. They're like, well, we don't need to play them. Look at the Raptors. They suck. They're horrible right now. Jared, you've got the night off. Rest your finger. You're fine, Jared Allen. They have no center. We're not worried about this. Evan Mobley can handle this by himself. I don't know. Maybe the Cavs will be foolish enough to do that. I hope they are, because we'll have a real chance to kick their ass tonight. If we're mostly full strength, Jakob is out already. He's not even going on the trip, guys. Blake Murphy tweeting yesterday that Jakob Poeltl's staying in Toronto, not going on this trip, and getting extra treatment on his back. That's exactly what he should be doing. No plane for him. He doesn't need to sit on the bench and look goofy on a Halloween at Cleveland. No, he needs to be here getting Swedish massage, hot rock massage, every kind of massage, maybe even a happy ending massage. He just needs a massage. Massage the yak so he can come back. That's what we want right now. That's right. That's right. That's right. So fear not, Raptors fans. There is a real chance we could win tonight and surprise everybody. You know, some fans may have already gave up on the Raptors. Some of them on Reddit, I can tell they already have. But they may not have, should have, because this is the kind of thing that happens. The Raptors are dead in the water. They look like they're shit. They're horrible. And people turn the TV off. And then the next game comes on and they are amazing. And everybody don't watch it because they're like, I hate when the Raptors are losing. I just can't watch them when they're losing. And then they don't watch it. And then they miss a gem. They miss a badass game where the Raptors are badasses and they're like, damn, I wish I watched that game. That's why you ride or die with them, whether they win or lose. They have lost 4 games in a row, and it's tough to watch them right now. I know, but don't give up on them now, because you may actually see something beautiful tonight. That's what I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, these injury reports bode well. And if the Cavs are going to be sitting 3 of their 5 starters tonight, we got a good shot, guys. We got a good shot. The referees are not that bad either, guys. We've got very fair refs tonight. The crew chief tonight is Justin Van Dyne, the cop from L.A., Arcadia, California, exactly. 12th season, it's number 64. He likes the show Entourage. He likes the Bourne movies. He listens to Jimmy Allen. His favorite book is Moneyball. He loves to eat sushi. His favorite app is The Chive. He'd most like to visit Ireland, and his bucket list is to visit every MLB stadium. Justin Van Dyne, too bad you're in Cleveland tonight, because you could visit Rogers Center tonight and maybe see a World Series champion Blue Jays team get that next one. Yeah. Woo, let's go. Justin Van Dyne has officiated 613 regular season games and 11 playoff games in 10 seasons as an NBA staff official. Justin's splits are as such. He is the middle average ref today. He is in between. We win 52% of our games in the history of Justin Van Dyne, of 10 years reffing Raptors games. And the Cavs win 54% of their games. So slight edge to the Cavs, 52-54 for Justin Van Dyne on his refereeing records. Second ref is Scott Twardowski out of Washington State, his 15th season, number 52. He likes the TV show Shrinking. His favorite book is Core 52. This guy's a nerd, man. His favorite meal is steak and mushrooms. His favorite app is Telestrations. He most like to visit Norway and photograph the northern lights. And his hidden talent is landscape and astrophotography. Scott Twardowski has officiated 748 regular season games and 2 playoff games in 14 seasons as an NBA staff official. He was selected to work the NBA playoffs in 2018-19 and 2021-2022 seasons. So he worked the playoffs we were in when we won our championship. That's right. Scott Twardowski is the worst ref for the Raptors today. He favors the Cavs. We win 48% of our games. Meanwhile, they win 55% of their games. So it's a pretty heavy favor to the Cavs with Scott Twardowski. 48 to 55 is the percentage split. The third ref is Brett Nansel, number 44 out of Miles City, Montana, his 10th season. His favorite TV show is anything on the outdoor channels. So he's watching some hunting and some fishing. His favorite movie is Top Gun. He likes to listen to Alan Jackson. His favorite book is Wooden. His favorite meal is a barbecue ribeye steak. Do we have two steak lovers here? Wasn't that what Van Dyne wants? No, he wants sushi. And okay, yeah, Nansel. No, okay, yeah. Nansel and Twardowski get their steaks. That's right. Get them some steaks. Favorite app is NFHS Network. I'm not sure what that is. He'd most like to visit Australia. He bucket list is to catch a grander. He really is into fishing. He wants 1,000-pound marlin. And also his hidden talent is tenor saxophone. So he's got that Lisa Simpson going on with him. Brett Nansel is a top 5 ref for the Raptors. He has officiated 421 regular season games and 9 seasons as an NBA staff official. He worked the Rising Stars competition and All-Star Saturday night events at NBA All-Star 2024 in Indianapolis last year. So, yeah, he is a top 5 ref. Out of all the refs, he is one of the best refs for the Raptors. We win 68% of our games when Brett Nansel is present. That's right. There's only he's 4. He's number 4 on this list for best records with the Raptors. Number 4. Meanwhile, the Cavs win 52%. So 68 to 52 is the split. Brett Nansel favoring the Raptors. So we got those 3 refs. They're very, very similar refs. It's interesting. They're all 10-year refs, and they're all white guys. And they're all, to me, been very fair in the past. They're not a bad ref crew. They're very level ref crew. And Brett Nansel does have affinity for us. He's been very kind to us over his career. So the ref crew's fine, man. I think that in some ways the NBA is giving the Raptors a real shot right here. Because, listen, we've been floundering. In some ways, it's not in their interest for Raptors fans to be turned off and not spend any money at the arena. In some ways, that big corporation, the NBA, wants the Raptors to be financially successful and having people come to games. If they tank and shitty play in the beginning of the season, some people will turn that TV off for the whole rest of the season, and it's too early in the season for that to happen with lost revenue and ticket sales and stuff like that. So the Raptors need to win. They need to win, and the NBA knows that to a degree. And in some ways, I don't know, Cleveland's done so well in different ways. I wouldn't be surprised if the Raptors have the ability to come and beat the Cavs tonight in an upset in the in-season tournament tonight, guys. Seriously. I'm reading the tea leaves, and some of this is telling me this right now, that, this kind of shit happens. When people get all bent out of shape, they're like, oh, the Raptors just suck. They're going to be horrible all year. They're not going to be horrible all year. They're going to figure this shit out. I still believe in Darko. I may have said a lot of angry things yesterday, and I got cut off by YouTube too because I was too crazy, I guess. All of a sudden, my screen said, "Oh, snap," and it had that little icon to say, "Oh, shit, I got booted." I apologize for that. When I get booted early, I'll definitely circle back and do an extra classic card and, try and cover what I was supposed to talk about. But I think we covered most of what we needed to talk about yesterday. And that was mostly just bitching about the Raptors being so piss poor against the Rockets. Yeah. But we have a chance tonight. I'm going to say this right now. We have a chance tonight, especially if the Cavs are going to be banged up. Well, if we have most of our team, we need to fucking come at them. If they are missing Jared Allen, we have a good chance because that's Mobley. And Scotty can match up against Mobley to an extent in a very fair way. So I like this. And when I saw their injury report, I was like, oh, we have a chance. We'll see if Mitchell's there or not. That's a big part of it. If Mitchell is there. Yeah. If it's just Mobley and no Garland, Mitchell, or Allen, well, Raptors got a huge chance to win this game. If they don't, it'll be really depressing and sad considering they beat a half-assed Cavaliers team. They didn't beat them, that's what I'm saying. Trevor J's in the chat first. Commissioner of Fun, Trevor J. Good to see you, man. His words of wisdom are, the world have you chosen numbers, titles, status, but real wealth is your health, people who love you, and a mind that's not at war with itself. Stop losing sight of what actually matters, because none of that other shit matters if you're broken inside. You know, the system of capitalism teaches us it's a dog eat dog world. I've heard Michael Jordan say something recently that was very disappointing. He said basically, if you want to be a winner, if you want to be great, you have to crush other people to get there. I don't believe in this mindset. I believe this is a sociopathic mindset that society has accepted in the system of capitalism, that it's a dog eat dog world. I think that we weren't intended to do this. I think that very evil people set up this system a long time ago to pit people against each other. And, you know, we have abundance in resources and things. It's just that a manufactured scarcity pits us against each other to think that we got to get ours or somebody else is going to take ours and we won't have ours. I'm sick of this mentality. I think in the new world, we need to change this attitude that, you know, listen, God and Christian belief with Jesus's teachings is to have a seat at the table for everybody, is to take care of everyone, is to take care of the sick, the poor, the hungry, the tired, the old, the disabled, the young, everybody. And this dog eat dog mentality of win at all costs at the expense of others is destroying our world. And I'm sick of this shit. And I'm calling out to every single person out there for us to rebuke this system, to deny it, to change it, and to come back with a humanistic system where it is actually a very helpful to each other, caring, and very much more Christ-like system. Because I'm sick of this shit. It's gotten so out of hand, the greed. The people at the top have absolutely destroyed the system because they abused it, and they've taken too much advantage at the very top, the billionaires, the oligarchs, the corporations. And in some ways, we need a complete renewal of systems, and that kind of mentality of I'm against you because you're my neighbor and I don't want to have you have more than things than me. That's got to stop, because that's greedy ass bullshit. It's bullshit lies that people have fed us to encourage us to go out there and stimulate the economy so they make money. In some ways, we don't have to be pitted against each other. You don't have to gauge yourself against your neighbors and your friends and stuff. That's a sad life, because you're always going to be miserable, because you're never ever going to catch up with all the Joneses. Believe me, I know Trevor, and his family's very well off. So stop trying to catch up with the Joneses. Seriously, I'm sick of this. I want people to start being more humanistic, start picking heart and human over money. That's what my words of wisdom are to say to this, because he's right. The people that are at the top, the people that have so much money, a person like Elon Musk is one of the most miserable fuckers in this world right now. Look at that motherfucker. Everybody hates him. He's confused. He acts like an idiot. And in some ways, does all the money in the world mean anything to him? No. In some ways, he's a shallow, idiotic person whose children hate him, and he has no love in his life because he's a piece of shit. So look, money doesn't buy happiness. You could get to the top of the scoreboard in the financials like Elon Musk, and you'll still be a miserable, out of shape, pasty looking motherfucker who's a sorry ass piece of shit. So that's what I'm saying, y'all. Let's find the right way to happiness, and that's connection, that's bonds, and that's what Trevor's saying. It's through family, it's through friends, it's through helping each other, it's through service to each other. It's not to degrading each other and stealing somebody's money from behind them, scamming them through the system of capitalism. It's not the way of buying and rigging the rules and politicians and making things the way you want to get an easy buck at the detriment of everybody else in this world. This shit is going to change. And I'm one of the voices of future. And you listen to me now, everybody. We're going to change this shit back to humans over money. Once again, when this is all said and done, watch and be ready for it, and be ready for the mentality that I'm talking about right now, because we will be happier, we will be better off, and we will live a more prosperous life together as a team, not against each other. Michael Jordan, nah, your mentality is wrong, bitch. You may have been the most successful NBA player ever and the GOAT, but your mentality is going to be antiquated and outdated once we flip the script to 2027, and we start going in the new direction of humanity. It's either that, people. We either go in the direction I'm talking about, where we pick people, humanity, and the people over the laws, over the governments, over the corporations, or we go into a surveillance prison state of corporate oligarchs watching our every move and throwing us in prison for the slightest shit. They might even throw me in jail just for fucking doing this podcast. So let's make our choice, right, humans? Let's get in the streets and let's stop this fucking right-wing fascism that is piling up soldiers and prisons in the United States. We cannot have this life going forward for our children. We cannot have this life going forward for the future, because the choices we make right now will echo out into hundreds of years from now. And if we don't fucking deny this oligarchy surveillance state of prisons, now our children will live in prisons after us. So listen to me clearly and loudly. We're going to change this shit, the power in the people, and we all have to be together on this. We outnumber the hell out of them. And those motherfuckers have been cheating on this Monopoly game long enough. It's time to throw the board up in the air and make a new game. Make the new rules and make them for all of us in the right way, in the humanitarian way. Wow. Drop the mic, Lex, because you just took a words of wisdom and you drove it out of the park on a grand slam home run like Vlad Guerrero Jr. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Listen to me now, because we're going into a new age of era and we shape this. We're a pivotal generation right now. We decide the future for 200 years from now. We better fucking get this right. This assignment is very, very important to every single one of y'all's children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren. And if we don't do this shit, you're going to hand off a world of fucking misery, dystopia, and prison surveillance to our children. Do we want this? No, we don't. If you fucking think you could just sit by and not join the fight, you need to add your voice to it. You need to add your body to it. And you need to add yourself to it, because we need all hands on deck to win this one, y'all. That's what I'm saying right there. That's right. Trevor J., I appreciate you. I love you. And that's right. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Just live your life and be good to each other and help each other out. That's the right way. That's the Jesus way right there. That's it right there. That's right. Trevor's saying, happy game day. Let's win and keep the doubters quiet, Raptors. I know, I'm sick of this shit. On Raptors Reddit, I don't even want to go on there. There's so many dumbass memes. There's already bringing out the Raptors tanks and fucking putting them up. This is 5 games in a season, you idiots. No. We ain't tanking yet. We just had a bad start so far. But we're going to get this shit right. And all you tank commanders, you might as well drive your tank back into the garage, because we ain't doing this shit this year. This year, we're going to the playoffs still. And tank commanders, hold your horses. Park that tank up, James Garner, motherfucker. That's what I say right now. Park that tank up, James Garner. That's right. If you know the reference, you're old, just like me. That's right. All right, let's keep going in the chat with the comments. Let's see. I got lots to talk about today. I got to do double duty on some stuff since I didn't do it yesterday. James is here. All right, James, Rapid Freak James. Sorry for missing your comments yesterday. For some reason, YouTube erased the first half of my comments, and I was only dealing with the ones I could see. But I did see you had a bunch yesterday, and I didn't read them. Lex, there are a couple of free agents, bigs available. Any preferences? Bol, Mo Bamba, Moses Brown, and Christian Wood. See, this is the problem with all those names, James. This is the problem. And this is part of the problem with why we may have a bigs shortage. Because in the history of the NBA, the history of basketball, the big guy is not necessarily the smartest. The big guy is not necessarily the hardest working. The big guy is not necessarily the most skilled. He's just big. And part of the problem is the Raptors don't want knuckleheads on our team. And half the guys that are on your list are knuckleheads. Seriously, Christian Wood may be the most skilled guy out of that, but he is a knucklehead. He's obviously a knucklehead. He's worn out his welcome in Detroit, Dallas, and LA. And now he's looking out on the inside, outside looking in of the NBA. Now, Christian Wood is the one I like the best out of that list. He's the most useful. He's the one that may be able to do what we need, but he's a knucklehead. This is the problem. And Moses Brown's already came through our system. In some ways, we know who Moses Brown is. We don't need him because in some ways we passed on him already like 2 or 3 years ago. Mo Bamba, that was somebody that we talked about getting a couple of years ago when we still had Nick. We were all like, let's get Mo Bamba. Let's go get Mo Bamba. I know Monique and I were very big on getting Mo Bamba for a little while, but we never did. Nick got him in Philly. And then he was in Philly with Nick for a little while, and then he bombed out of the league, and he hasn't really been in the league since. So there's something wrong with Mo Bamba as far as his work ethic, his personality, and who he is. He's just not sticking. Bobo, similar thing. I've heard some weird things about Bobo in the last couple of days where he's just not into basketball the right way. And he's just not doing things the right way. And the Raptors ain't got no time investing money and time and people that ain't going to do it the right way. So unfortunately, all those guys on that list, James, are most likely not in the interest of Bobby Webster and the Raptors, even though we have a pressing need right now. I get it. Somebody on Raptors Reddit actually has this up. They're asking, is there any big men, list of genuinely acquirable big men right now? And there's a list. Jalen Smith is a Bulls backup, and I guess he's talking about wanting to trade to get them. I don't know, because this guy's actually on a team. Jalen Smith of the Bulls, the guy who wears the goggles, he's good. He's good. I mean, but what's the move? Aiden Bona of the Sixers, he was a rookie last year. I don't know if we want to get him, but he's a very strong forward. I don't really count him as a center, but I don't know if he's the right answer. Kelly Ware, if we could get Kelly Ware from the Miami Heat, that'd be amazing, but that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. The Heat love Ware. And there's no way that they would trade Kelly Ware right now. Thomas Bryant from the Cavs, who we're playing tonight, that's not likely. I think that this list is kind of goofy because it has people that are already on teams, and it's not likely that we'll be able to go get any of these guys because a lot of them are on rookie contracts, and they're people that these teams don't want to trade because they're on value. Like Goga is on here too for Magic. I like that idea. If we had Goga on our team, that'd be awesome. Goga plays really good with Sandro. They're teammates on Georgia, and that would be good. There's no way the Wizards are giving up Vucevic or Boston's giving up Kada. Maybe Paul Reed coming from from Detroit Pistons is a possibility, but he's not a true center once again. He's not a true center. He's a power forward. Day'Ron Sharpe is somebody I mentioned yesterday, actually, that if we could get him from the Nets. He's making $12 million over 2 years, though. He's like a $6 million player a year. There's no way that these rookies that are listed here are coming here. I mentioned all three of these rookies that are on this list were on my list to draft for Bobby this year. Maxime Renaud, Rocco Zakowski, and Yannick Conan Niederhauser. All three of those guys were on my must draft, or can you draft him, Bobby? As centers we could have gotten in the draft, instead of like being in this situation where now we got people on Reddit saying, can we go get these rookie centers from these teams? Well, we should have just drafted them if they're at their rookie year. And they're not proven. None of them. Zarkowski may not be an NBA player. It's the same for Conan Niederhauser. Maxime Renaud is too young and too early in his career. So if I had to pick anybody from this list, I like Goga and Day'Ron, but their prices may not be right for us. And once again, none of these guys on this list on Reddit may be available. So I get why this person's doing this. I was hoping we'd hear a move or transaction for the Raptors yesterday, but we didn't. Alas, we only heard that Jakob's back he's got him out and he's not traveling with the team, and he's here in Toronto getting treatment. So yeah, it's an interesting question, James. In some ways, Bobby knows better. And if Bobby doesn't want to do it because he has a salary cap reason or something like that, we may be just going through a really tough time, difficult time right now in the season. Doesn't mean it's going to last all 82 games, y'all. Seriously, I'm sick of that. Everybody thinks the first 5 games are going to be the way the whole season go. You're wrong. We're going to figure this shit out. We're going to get it going. Darko is too proud of coach, and he's too good to fuck up his career like this in his 3rd year. Seriously, he's going to get this figured out, guys. And the players will get it too. They're going to get off their ass, and they're going to give a better effort tonight. And they're going to come with a vengeance. Watch. I bet you right now, they're going to come with a vengeance tonight. And we're going to see a very different Raptors team tonight. Because honestly, they should have the riot act read on them for how they played the last 4 games. They should. And they should need to wake up and change this shit. Because like I said, we're starting to question y'all's professionalism, Scotty, and IQ. And that's not just me. That's Leo Routen's doing it too. So yeah, Isaac's got a Halloween parade here. Let's see who's in the Halloween parade. Trick or treat. Who's here at the door? Oh, hello, Spider and Count Dracula. And that looks like the Hulk, but it may be a zombie. There's a black cat. Ooh, and there's Scotty. Scotty's one of the costumes. What? A skull, a ghost, a pumpkin, and a moon. A moon. There you go, Isaac Campbell. Thank you for the emoticon parade. I appreciate your emoticons. Very, very fun. Holding it down for us in the nation's capital, Ottawa. Thank you, Isaac. Trevor J has got the basketballs ready for the game. And Jake Caesar is here. Good morning to you, Jake. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. He's saying, what do you think about James Wiseman? He's an interesting one. You know, once again, he's a knucklehead. Once again, another big guy who's barely could be in the league if they were just a little bit more committed and a little bit more smart, or maybe just a little bit more getting it. You know, James Wiseman, they spent a lot of resources in Golden State to try and get him right, and it didn't work. They cut him loose, and then he kind of bounced around. He's been traded to the Raptors. We had him on our team last year, but we waived him because he wasn't even worth keeping. So I would say this, you know, Wiseman circled back to the Pacers in training camp, this past training camp, and he didn't make the team. And the Pacers are hurt as hell right now. And they're looking for anybody to come in there. I mean, shit, they just signed Mac McClung. Mac McClung's on their team, but James Wiseman's not good enough to make the Pacers, and they're hurt and they're decimated, and they haven't won a single game this year. No, that's a red flag right there. So yeah, James Wiseman is on this list. Once again, we have a certain level of excellence in the people that we bring in the door. We don't let people that are certain kind of knuckleheadedness in. And James Wiseman, unfortunately, seems to be this way, Jake. I'm sorry to say. I mean, if he's not good enough for the Warriors, he's not good enough for the Pacers, why should he be good enough for the Raptors? That's what I'm saying. I think we'd be better off bringing Olivier Sarr back and putting him on the team tonight instead of looking at James Wiseman. It's a great question, though. I appreciate you, Jake, and thanks for watching today. Raptors Champs is back in the house. The champs are in the house. That's right. Raptors Champions 2019. Let's go Blue Jays 2025. Let's get that World Series tonight. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Could you be mine? Would you be mine? I've always wanted a third World Series ring, just like you. And tonight at Rogers Center, Vladdy and Bo, will this do? Could you go out and hit many a hit? Get a runs and run around it. Could you be mine? Would you be mine? Won't you be a third World Series ring for Toronto Blue Jays? Hey, neighbor. Welcome, neighbor, from the Rogers Center. Yes, we are from the Scotiabank Arena. But yes, we love you guys down there at Rogers Center. And we would love to see y'all win the World Series tonight. And if they don't panic, Blue Jays fans. They get another shot tomorrow. So we got a 2-shot to win this World Series. And both the games are at home. So let's bring it home. Blue Jays. It's called the mash, do. It's the monster bash. We're gonna bash, do the ball out of the place. The bash, do. It's the monster bash on Halloween. Hit that ball, woo! All right, let's right. And then the other version of the monster match I was gonna do this morning is like, and now they bash, do. It's the Raptors losing, and now they bash, do. And they trash the team with the Raptors losing. All right, stop. That's not. Whatever happened to my Transylvania twist? No, stop, man. Stop it. All eyes are on Darko and IQ. Yeah. You know, Trevor came up with a good point last night on Discord that I want to bring up right now, and I want to believe this is true. You know, I did go very, very angrily at Emmanuel Quickly yesterday, and I made allegations that maybe are just not fair. You know, I forgive me as a Raptors fan for not totally trusting and believing in Raptors players over the history of our time, Vince Carter, Chris Bosh, and not thinking that they're genuine or really for our team on the down low. And in some ways, you know, Emmanuel, in some ways, you were part of a deal that came here with RJ for OG. And I don't know how much you really wanted to be in Toronto ever in your life. I know RJ wanted to be here. And in some ways, I know you being here with him is nice because you're friends. In some ways, you like the idea of being a starting point guard. Well, let's excel at it then. But I don't know. And I've made allegations that maybe he's sloughing it just to kind of get traded out. And that's not totally fair. As Trevor brought up yesterday, that IQ is a very God fearing, good Christian man, that he very much believes in his faith. This is a man who does worship not as a show. And this is very much the real thing. And in some ways, the teachings of Christ wouldn't allow Emmanuel to be false, wouldn't allow Emmanuel to be anything other than what he is. He has to just be himself. He doesn't want to be a nefarious person, a liar, a person who's falsely portraying himself. No, this was a good point by Trevor when he said this last night. The Christian faith of Emmanuel quickly, in some ways, now we know some people are Christian and they're absolutely two-faced and full of shit, Trevor, though. But for some reason, we feel like Emmanuel's a genuine Christian for sure. I believe that. And in some ways, that's right. Winder's saying this, and Emmanuel wouldn't do this. If he really truly follows the teachings of Jesus Christ and is a good Christian, he would not, first of all, screw around with his own personal career by sloughing it just to do some crazy shit. And second of all, that wouldn't be honest and true of him in the eyes of God to not try his hardest and do as best as he can. When Trevor said that, it just clicked in me. It's like, you know what? He's right. In some ways, I may be seeing Emmanuel do things on the court that I don't like, but these are things that could be fixed. And I want to see him have a different kind of energy and a different way of doing things. If he's freezing people out, don't do it anymore. If you're not going after loose balls as aggressively as you could, Emmanuel, do it. You know, there's a lot of different things you could do to improve. And all of a sudden, all my worries go away. It's the same thing for any of you guys, whether it's Grady, whether it's Scotty, whether it's Oshai, whether it's Colin. It doesn't matter. If any of you guys, you just excel and you start doing better, a lot of the fears, the worries, the problems we all are worried about with Raptors Nation right now, they go away. So let's make it scary for them tonight and Halloween and surprise some people and actually get the W in our first in-season tournament game, because it's possible. Like I said, I did the preview, and I could see a route for y'all to get there. In some ways, if these injuries are true for the Cavs, and these guys are not going to show up, and they're missing 2 or 3 of their main 4 guys, we have a really good shot to win tonight. I'm going to say that right now, especially if Brandon is pissed and he's sick of losing and he wants to do something about it. Brandon Ingram can do something about it. So it's going to be very interesting tonight. Yeah, Darko, we want to see a good game plan. Seriously, man, give me some ammunition on this show to stand up for you against your detractors, because I don't want to feel like I need to criticize you like they do. And I have felt like I've needed to over these last 4 games, because once again, y'all need to have better game plans. Whatever the fuck you and your coaching staff are doing, you need to do it times 10, and you need to buckle down, because this is red alert right now. You guys need to get your asses going, because you're messing with your livelihoods of working for the Raptors and being coaches for us. And if you don't get your shit figured out, seriously, I'm not going to see. I don't think Bobby will get fired this year. Hopefully he doesn't get fired ever. But if anybody's going to get the blame and get fired for a non-playoff year at the end of the year, it will be you, Darko, and your coaching staff. That's why y'all need to go into overdrive. Y'all need to do extra in your preparation and getting the players prepared and getting them right. And Darko, you need to be really on your toes. And seriously, if you can show little signs in the game where you are absolutely making a difference as a coach, somehow, some way, whether it's a very smart timeout, whether it's a smart challenge, whether it's a very brilliant inbounds play, whether it's a game-winning play like Jonathan Mobo or Olivier Sarr in the preseason, these things will give me ammunition to protect you, Darko. So do some good shit tonight so we can have some things to come on tomorrow in the reaction and toot your horn and say, this is why our coaches are coach, y'all. Because right now, the people are saying, why is this guy our coach, are winning in some ways. And I want to be one of the people that says, this is why our guy is a coach. Y'all shut up. And here's the proof. So please, Darko, I'm pleading with you, bro. Seriously, do something tonight so that we can have ammunition on this channel to support you. Because I can't support you if it looks as bad as it has recently. Seriously, this is just unacceptable. I have not seen the players play this horribly, like I said, since Bosch era Or maybe even like there was that little bit of time when it was confusing when you just started with Dennis and everybody. Dennis and Pascal and OG were still on the team. There was an unprofessional period where these guys were not playing professionally then, and I was calling it out and said, these guys are not playing like professionals. Why are these guys not playing like professionals now? They have to hold a professional level of standards. And in some ways, these guys aren't being professionals, the players. And they need to fucking step it up and be more professional is what I'm saying. MJ saying this, good morning, fam, and happy game day. I'm hoping our defensive presence will be on tonight. Let's give the Cleveland Cadavers a smackdown. Cadavers. It's a little giggle. Yeah, I mean, our defensive presence needs to return. And we need a recommitment to this. And like I said, Darko, you have a lot of good players on your team. You could really put the guys out there that are doing it. And the guys who are loafing, you don't play. And I don't care how good a player they are on our team. It doesn't matter. We have so many good players. Two of the very good players will be playing hard. And if you have to sit a loafing top player because they're just not getting it and they're just not putting in the effort, sit down and play their backup. Seriously. And I'm not naming who or what. I want all of them to try tonight. And they get a clean slate to start. That's the thing about the NBA. 82 games. That means, 5 games, 1-4. Well, tonight's a new slate. You start the whole new story tonight. And, let's write a better story tonight. Let's play a better game. And let's get a W. Seriously. Fiercely saying, yes, I will pay extra attention to IQ's passing, playmaking, decision-making, etc. Yeah. In some ways, IQ, we need to see you trying. We need to see you care. We need to see you get out there and make good things happen. Whether it's you bombing long threes, whether it's you finding teammates, whatever it is, I don't care. You're a good player. I believe in you. I want you on the Raptors. I want to believe you're a good Christian that's doing your best right now. And I think you are. But I just give us more evidence, seriously. And success is the best evidence. Seriously, success is the best evidence that you're trying. Because in some ways, if you're not getting success, it doesn't seem like you're trying. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing out there? You're just doing glorified cardio. Why don't you fucking try and win the game? You're down by 10. Get off your ass and start trying to win the game. Shit like that. That's what I'm saying right there. So look, Fiercey's got the stakes for the refs. Look at that, Twardowski and Nansel. You guys got your steaks. And Justin, we'll get you your sushi too. Yeah, Justin Van Dyne, you get some sushi too. See, we love our refs. They're in Cleveland, though. We have to send it to them. Send them by boat over the Great Lake. All right, let's see. Trevor's saying this. Milwaukee Bucks beat Golden State Warriors without Giannis and the Warriors with everybody. I heard that kid, Ryan Rollins, blew up and carried their team to win. Yeah, let's go look at the Instagram stories. We did not do them yesterday. I was ranting too much. First of all, the Raptors do have a watch party at the Scotiabank Arena tonight. There's nobody at the arena. There's the people at the baseball game next door, but they want to fill up the arena. They're so greedy for money. You could pay $15 to come down there. It goes towards MLSC Foundation. But you can watch the Blue Jays game that's just down the street in our arena, in the arena on the big screen, if you really want to do that. Man, they really think that so many people want to come and watch the game like that. I don't know. Probably will people come down there. But the Rogers Center should be jammed. That's for sure. But they're trying to jam up the Scotiabank Arena for this game, too. It's crazy. Let's see what else. They got Scotiabank Arena tours. See, this is the one thing under MLSC with Rogers in charge is there's way more advertising. There's way more promotions and corporate advertising. They're doing premium Scotiabank Arena tours. You can go in the locker room of the Raptors, the players' gears, exclusive access. Book yours today. Any way they can make money, whether they having people sit there watching the baseball game in the arena tonight, and really it's because they want concessions open. As people come to the game, that's why they're like, stay after the game and watch the Blue Jays, because they want concessions open. If I was still working in concessions, I would have had some long-ass shifts working a Raptors game and then a whole Blue Jays game afterwards where people are sticking around. They want to sell beer. They want to sell popcorn. They want to sell food. And that's why they're doing this. And in some ways, they want to sell tours. And in some ways, I don't like the access. Don't be going in the Raptors locker room just to make some money. Don't be bugging them. Let them have their space and privacy. I don't need to go in their locker room. No, I don't. No. Gary Trent Jr. is putting on blast what Trevor was talking about. Gary's very proud of this, y'all. And he should be. He should be. I mean, the Bucks, honestly, without Giannis, they beat the Warriors last night. That's impressive to me. Seriously, that don't make no sense to me because I really do think the Bucks are a one-man show. But Ryan Rollins is becoming somebody all of a sudden, and Kyle Kuzma and Gary Trent Jr. showed up to help him too last night. It was amazing, man. Career high for Ryan Rollins last night. Apparently, he got I don't know how much he got, but yeah, really crazy game. And look out, Warriors, you're old. That's what happens. You're old, Warriors. That's what happens. Old ass Warriors. That's right. So 120 to 110. Bucks over Warriors. 10-point game. Wow. Miles Turner, very happy. Yeah, good job. Gary Trent's loving it. He's loving it. Jamal McGlure was hanging out with a fan. There's a picture of him with the fan. And also there's the last day to apply for Chloride Brighter Bursary. Also, Jamal's posted this. The entire NBA and NBA Players Association family is heartbroken by the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica and the Caribbean. Our thoughts are with those impacted, and we are grateful to heroic first responders and volunteers providing assistance. The NBA, the NBPA, our teams and players have deep roots in the region and are joining together to support immediate and long-term relief to those in need. That's great to hear. That's great to hear. That's the crazy thing is like, in some ways we pay our tax dollars to the government to help us, and they've allocated all this money for SNAP in the United States, but the Republicans are withholding it to starve children because they're evil and they're fucked up. And that's already tax money that the people paid into it. If that doesn't make you pissed off to fight the machine and fight this bullshit going on, I don't know what will. Seriously, they're starving young children. Their money is there. They could give it to them, but they're evil as fuck. And this is something that I say, like, it shouldn't be on private citizens to fix things. Seriously, the devastation in Jamaica by Melissa, there should be taxpayer money that comes from the government to help people, not being dependent on individual millionaires and billionaires to come and save people. No, that's not the system we want. We need a social safety net. And that's why it's important that there's taxation, because then we can be helped out with our own money. But these motherfuckers are stealing the tax money from everybody and putting it in their own pockets. Donald Trump and MAGA and all them. And people don't understand that they're doing that. It is true. Donald Trump's wealth has grown in a crazy amount just since he got back in the presidency. And it's absolutely him conning and grifting and stealing tax money, whether it's tariff money, whether it's our own tax money that's already paid into that's going to programs. He's pocketing that shit right now. And that shit should make y'all mad. He's taking money and he's destroying the White House, and then he's going to spend all this extra money from the taxpayers on it. Or he's saying it's from his donors, but his donors are actually paying him for favors. It's all broken and fucked up. Either way, there should be U.S. aid coming to Jamaica, but it probably isn't because they're racist. They're probably like, fuck them. Let them be in trouble out there. We don't care. That's the way the U.S. is right now, y'all, just so you know. Just so you know, open your eyes and see the truth right now. The ICE age is not good. The ICE motherfuckers are wrong and they're Nazis. Seriously, right now. All right, let's see. Jamal Shed has got some sort of gym work. Oh, that's him and Caruso from the summer. And he's like showing a clip of Caruso attacking the basket and then what he has to do too. And also he's putting on blast the Broncos and his friend who plays for the Broncos, Jade. Let's see. Colin Murray Boyles has got a picture of him with KD. In some ways, I didn't like the interviews with Colin and Darko after the game the other night. They came out late. First of all, Raptors official didn't want to even show them. They were out on some sort of weird Mr. Basketball channel, and we didn't see them until late. Trevor, I know you find them for me and you bring them to me, but we didn't see this one until after my stream was done, and I didn't really like the way Colin was talking in it. I'm going to see this right now. Colin, bro, don't glaze the other teams and other players so much. Seriously, stop doing that. It's a bad look. In some ways, you open yourself up to all kinds of speculation. You can be in awe of playing against Kevin Durant, but glazing the Rockets so heavily after playing them, that's not a good look, bro. That's a rookie mistake right there. So you need some more media training. Also, don't be at the mic like this. Like, oh, yeah, I really like the Rockets. Steven Adams is the strongest person I've ever met in the world. He's so strong. And Kevin Durant, they're just amazing. They're just like legends. And getting to play them in person, shut the fuck up, Colin. Seriously, bro. Don't glaze the other team so hard. Because, first of all, First of all, bro, you sound childish. And also, the other thing you're saying, I know all this, I know all that. Bullshit. You don't know jack shit. You played 3 games in the NBA. And you are not knowledgeable of the NBA. You're acting like you know what you're talking about. You don't know jack shit. So don't be like, oh, yeah, and this is this and this. No, you haven't gotten anywhere in your career yet. So stop having this mentality. Be humble. You're a new kid. You need to talk like that. Stop talking like you know everything and stop glazing the other team. Seriously. Seriously, you just come off bad. And also, somebody media train him. He's not supposed to put his hand in front of his mouth when he's at the microphone. Seriously, Darko wasn't mad enough. That's why I was mad at him. He was a little bit too accepting of the very piss poor performance of the Raptors against the Rockets. And I wish he had been more angry and yelling and kind of like pissed. But instead, he's kind of like, the guys are trying. They're giving a good effort. I'm like, bullshit, Darko. They're not trying as hard as they could. And in some ways, the effort needs to be better. You know that they need second, third, and fourth effort better. They need to go and finish the defensive play of the steal by getting the ball. They need to fucking go and box out. There's so many things they need to do better. And in some ways, it doesn't make you look good that you seem like you're accepting the way the Raptors are playing right now, Darko. So I wish you had been as pissed as I was yesterday. But you weren't. You were kind of more accepting of it. I'm like, that's not a good sign, Rajakovic. You need to be pissed right now. Seriously. Seriously. Serge Ibaka, where in the world is he? He's still in Miami at the University of Miami Hurricanes, putting in work in their gym down there. That's right. Savannah Hamilton's doing ads. What is your ad for today, Savannah? She's doing, oh, no, she's calling her friend. She's calling her twin sister, Oceana, on the phone. I don't know. That's some sort of weird ad. Slim Duck is showing him in the hallway with the Celtics getting ready to come out there. You know, Chris already got a DMP. I don't know why, but Joe Mazzulla sat him in their last game that they won. He didn't play at all. So this is a weird thing. Chris Boucher fans were like, why the fuck does Chris not play for us? Well, Coach Joe's not playing him all of a sudden too. Could there be a weird reason why? Seriously, maybe Chris is not doing things exactly right at times, and these coaches are benching him because Nick benched Chris back in the day. Darko's had to bench Chris. And now Joe Mazzulla, and Chris has just shown up there. It's only 5 games of the season. He's been benched already and has a DMP with the Celtics. You think the Celtics would need him with who they got? Sandro Mamu in the entryway, where he's always got a nice smile. Sandro's just such a nice guy. I really like him. There he is trying to block Giannis at the basket. Actually got him on that block. That's fun. And then there's a highlight from the preseason against the Nets where Scotty dumped off the ball to him and he got a dunk. That's cool stuff. The Raptors 905 have many theme nights coming up this season. Season of Giving, once again, which is games where you can bring canned goods and perishable items to non-perishable items, to the Raptors 905 game to give to them for food drives. And those will be the dates of December the 3rd, December the 10th, and December the 11th. Those are games against the Capital City Go-Go and 2 games against the Blue Coats of Delaware. There's a Lunar New Year's game on February the 7th against the Grand Rapids Gold. Local Vendor Markets youth basketball game on February the 8th with the Motor City Cruise in town. Black Heritage game will be February the 28th against the Greensboro Swarm. All Abilities game will be also against the Greensboro Swarm on March the 1st. International Women's Day game on March the 8th against Delaware. The City game will be against Motor City Cruise on St. Patrick's Day next year. And Fan Appreciation game at the end of the season, March the 28th against I'm not sure what that team is. That may be Squadron. I think that's Birmingham Squadron. Let's see. Anything else on the Instagram stories real quick? Lindsey Dunn at the World Series and all the stuff she's doing there. Talking to the Blue Jays in the back. Talking to Trey Savage. And really good stuff going on there. And then Leo Routens, he was around with Canada's Basketball Top Flight Academy. And he was a speaker there recently. Not just speaking about the unprofessionalism of Scotty and IQ, but also going to speak to the youth in the community. There's your Instagram stories for today. Sorry I didn't get to it yesterday. Aw, snap. They cut me off. It was really sudden, too. I was like, holy crap, okay. I don't get mad about getting cut off anymore. I figure I'm going to do content for a while, and it's just a natural cutoff and say, okay, then I'm done. I like to finish when I want to finish, but if I get cut off, in some ways, I'm not letting it affect me anymore. It used to really piss me off. Like when I get cut off back a couple of years ago, I'd be like, damn, I got cut off. I had so much more to do. But now I'm kind of like, I don't care. I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll just catch up on things tomorrow. And you guys got 2.5 hours of me ranting yesterday anyway. it's like that was much needed. Some people in the comments coming in later, like, oh man, he's really pissed this time. Yeah, I was really pissed because I care about this team and I want this team to do well. In some ways, my pissedness was for the cause to help them try and get their ass lit fire under, All right, Neil's here. Good to see Blackhawk, number one Raptors freak, supporter of this channel. We appreciate Neil and his contributions to the family. Let's see what he's saying. This is simple. Let the Raptors earn their wins. No obsessing of their goals. It's on them to figure it out. Be here for the journey. That's right. I like that mentality. That's exactly right. It's a journey, and we've stumbled out of the gate. It's not so good. And in some ways, we got to write it, but we got to do it over time. And, listen, we've been through tough seasons since the championship. We've been through Tampa. We've been through, like last year was tough at times where we're just losing a lot and it sucks. So, in some ways, this is part of what we've been through the last couple of years already. If we have a little bit more of that for right now, and then all of a sudden we turn the corner and we're winning way more than we're losing at some point this season. That's what we are hoping for, Raptors fans. We're not hoping for them to burn and crash and go into tank commander zone. No, any fans that want that to happen, you're not really fans. You're not rooting for this in the right way. That's the thing I hate. It's like, that's the toxic fan. It's like, oh, we suck, so let's go ahead and tank. Woo, woo, you're idiots. No, let's fix this. And there's a long, long part of the season, still a lot of time to get things right. Seriously, a lot of time to get above 500. A lot of time to have a winning record and make the playoffs by the end of the year. So, yeah, I'm totally with Blackhawk. It's a journey, and we've only just started on this journey, and there's a lot to be played still. Reggie's here. Good to see Reggie. Real pressure is on Darko. Immediate improvement required, not so much in wins and losses, but effort. Yes. And that's why I was kind of pissed these last 4 games, is because I want to see, even if we don't win, I want to see them kind of going in the right direction. I haven't seen that. In fact, I've seen them going in the wrong direction over these last 4 losses, as far as less effort, less together, less doing things the right way. And that's why they got to circle the wagons and do a better job and get this shit back on track. Because I want to see signs, even if they don't win tonight, that they're on the right steps back to getting back in the right place. And that did not happen in Houston, against Houston, and that did not happen against those other 2 Texas teams. In some ways, I get it against the Spurs and Wemby, that it's going to be tough to kind of get some momentum going in the right direction. But there needed to be some things shown in good faith. And that's what we're asking for, Darko. That's what we're asking for. That's right. Stop with the slow starts. Yeah, come out there and match them right away well. That means starters, you need to have a very top-level defensive effort right away. In some ways, I don't give a shit about your scoring. Don't put any effort on the scoring side. Brandon can make baskets. RJ can make baskets. Scotty, you can make baskets. Focus almost everything that you guys give a shit about on the defensive end right now, because that's the area where you guys are so shitty right now. We are ranked at the bottom of the league in all kinds of shit. Opponents' field goal percentage, defensive shit, 29th in the league for defense. That's awful. That is dreadful. Now, Monique posted this stat in our Facebook chat, that the stats for right now, 5 games into the season, are identical to the stats last year, 5 games in the season. So it's like a lot of the stuff that's happening right now was happening last year at the same time, and we weren't freaking out as bad, partly because we were expecting us to be good this year to start. Last year, we saw a bad schedule and we were kind of accepting, oh, this is going to be bad. But in some ways, it's the same. It's a little bit of a bad schedule right now. It's not as bad all the way to December like last year was. But this year, the schedule is kind of bad to start. This has been a very tough week. And it's crazy that we faced 3 of the 4 tallest teams in the league this week. So there's a lot of different things going here. And if we don't overreact, and we look at things, we're like, wow, this is actually eerily similar to the 1-4 start that we had last year too. Seriously. So let's keep going. Raptors champ saying he agrees with Reggie. I'm with you guys too. Shaq Lindsay's good to see you here. Great supporter of this channel. We appreciate Shaq Lindsay. Even with not having a center to back up Jakob, I still feel Colin was the right choice Good defensive teams always start from the perimeter. Colin is a great defender and playmaker. Yeah, I mean, I obviously he's probably going to start again tonight. It's just that maybe the matchup will be better, especially if Allen's out. We really got to hope that Jared Allen does not play tonight because that'll be a big difference. If Jared Allen plays, we're in trouble to a degree. If he doesn't, we can actually match up with the Cavs pretty good. So I'm hoping that. And Colin, I mean, obviously he's going to start again because that's the way Darko does things. He kind of, if he didn't screw up and he was actually really good in the last start, well, he's going to get to start again. And we should expect Emmanuel, RJ, Brandon, Colin, and Scotty as the starters. And Scotty hopefully will have to play center against Evan Mobley. And that is not a bad matchup for us. That's a little bit of an even match. And we know how that goes. We know how that goes. Smooth saying this, incremental gains during the game that shows the system is being understood and implemented. Exactly. I mean, we're an educated fan base and learned fan base 30 years in now. And Darko, we can see little tweaks and alterations and changes that you make during the game to try and change things, adjustments. And we want to see these adjustments. And whether it's in a very minuscule thing, like I'm switching this guy to guard this guy better so that he gets slowed down. Jacoby Walter has been showing some real defensive chops while nobody else has been. So maybe you make a pointed effort to bring Jacoby and put him on a hot guard forward on this team tonight. If there's a guy on the other side that's doing really well, and you bring in Walter and you tell him to shut him down. We just want to see like a thinking man's coach's work. You have so many years. As you said, this is your 29th year coaching, Darko. All that experience and all that. Let's show us that you're coaching. Because right now, I'm not totally sure if you're coaching. And we want to see evidence that you are. We want to see evidence that you are. That's right. Darko is a great guy, and the players like him, but he's not getting paid for likes. Yeah, this is true. And in some ways, they understand all this. I mean, Darko understands this. So maybe hopefully he'll do some of this stuff we're saying, and it'll be better faith. In some ways, people will be feeling better about him. That's what I want right now, because in some ways we're doing damage control for his reputation. Honestly, his reputation right now is not looking good right now. Yeah. All right, let me see what's going on here. You guys have really filled it up today. I like it. There's Cool Cat. This is cool. All right, I want to make sure I get to all the comments. I will need a cutoff. If somebody here can do the cutoff, if Monique is not here, because I know you guys are going to fill this up, and I don't want to go too long. Let's see. Shaq Lindsay saying we shouldn't associate losing as not being productive. Bobby said that this roster isn't going to be the same at the end of the year. Let's be real. This is an unfinished product. We have our staples. Yeah, but still, I mean, I want these guys to be successful because it's heartbreaking when they're not. And then it seems like, okay, this guy's probably going to get traded. But the other tough thing is, like, if players aren't doing well, they're harder to trade and they don't have as much value. And it's a double-edged sword. I don't know. I don't want to look at the trade stuff right now. The thing that's important to me right now is getting it out of the mud and showing a better effort and winning some games. In some ways, that does matter to me, that we need to start trying to even up our record. Because once again, one of the biggest criticisms about the Raptors right now is our payroll is too high to be losing. And these guys need to win. We have talent. We have good players. We need to figure it out, and we need to get W's. Some people say the wins don't matter, but they do. They do matter. And we need to go get them. Every single game the NBA we play is a winnable game. It doesn't matter what's going on and what everything in this is. Every single game is a winnable game, and we need to go fucking try and win it. I really believe that. I don't want to get into trade head. I don't like trade shit. Trades are only when you fuck up and things have gone wrong. And I don't want to concede with the white flag saying things have gone wrong this season yet, because I don't think it's totally gone wrong yet. But you're right. Inevitably, there probably will be some moves this year. But once again, I look at having to make trades as failure because you didn't make the team right. And everybody thinks trades are fun and they should just be done all the time. No, what I'm saying is true. Trades are failure. That means that something you decided before didn't work out and you have to adjust. And I don't want the Raptors to do that. We have a good front office, and for the most part, we don't have to make trades all the time like other teams. And I'd like that, because in some ways you're better off trying to get it right the first time and growing with those people than switching people in and out over and over again like the Knicks do. The Knicks fuck themselves up because they have a revolving cast of people that come through their team every year. and they backtrack on some of the progress they get in other years because they over move stuff. So I only want to make moves that unless they're absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary. That's how I feel about it. Trevor's saying this for the Blue Jays game tonight, $15 to watch the game at Scotiabank Arena. I know. That's crazy. That's crazy. I wouldn't go down there and pay $15 to just sit in the arena and buy their food. Just stay home and watch the game. I know. It's MLSE with Rogers and Keith Pelly. They're just moneymakers. Keith Pelly's like, I may have ruined your weekend, Victoria Day weekend, firing you, Ujiri, but I'm going to make your life so much fun with so many cross promotions and money grabbing schemes. Yeah, come on down the arena. Watch the Blue Jays, Raptors fans. Why don't you show the Cleveland game? The in-season tournament game for them in the arena instead. Oh, you don't? What? Why not? All right, let's keep going. Reggie saying, Trevor, the watch party is sold out. The watch party at Scotiabank Arena is sold out. That's ridiculous. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Well, you go to a bar. Seriously. Why do you want to go sit in the arena like that? It's just weird to me, man. I mean, I get it. It's supporting and stuff like that. But the actual game's just down the street. And, anyway, either way, good luck to Blue Jays. I hope they win tonight and we get that championship. That's right. That's right. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying. Smooth saying Christian Wood is a real head case. The positive is the upside and the opportunity to start. Yeah, but is it worth it? Somebody brought up Kem Birch. I'm like, Kevin Birch did play in the Olympics last year, and he's more revitalized. I mean, Bobby, call up Kem, a good Canadian, add the Canadian content, bring him back in, even if he just does some of the stuff he used to do for us, stopping people and rebounding. That's all we need right now. Get Canadian Kem Birch, Olympian Kem Birch, who's actually been healthy in the last year, and he looks like his younger self. Seriously. Oh, he's not good enough being in the NBA. Oh, he's playing internationally. He's too busy. Call Wendy Sparks and get Kem up here again. Seriously. That's who I would be saying. We know he's a good one. We know he's not a head case. That's right. Smooth saying Bobo getting high at concerts, man. Okay, so he's living other lives. He's not serious about his NBA life. Well, that's just how it goes. Cool Cat is here. Good morning, Raptor Free Crew. Toronto sports scene on fire. Put it out. No, I mean, we just want the Blue Jays to win. That's all right now. I don't know what's going on with the Leafs. I don't give a shit. I don't know what's going on with them. Shaq Lindsay saying Scotty, BI, RJ, CMB, Jakob, and maybe IQ. Let's build on that. Plus, this draft is deeper than the last one. Once again, I'm not doing no tank to get a high draft pick. I don't even entertain that. The draft will come when the draft comes, and the draft will be where we get what we draft. And I'm not over speculating on trying to get a high draft pick or losing on purpose to get a draft pick. That's dead and gone narrative. That people that still do that, you're casuals, you're not keeping up. It's a losing mentality that doesn't get you what you want. Ask Utah, ask Charlotte, ask the teams that lost last year and didn't get anywhere near the top 5 picks. So, yeah, in some ways, I don't want to do this. I don't want to get ahead with trades or the draft. We are playing in the regular season. We just started it. And our mode right now as fans is to watch games, not to speculate this or this, worry about the draft or get the trades done. Bobby will do that stuff when it comes to the right times. And we just need to watch the games. I would love an emergency backup big right now. But I'm not holding my breath, and I'm not expecting it totally, honestly. For some weird, twisted reason, I'm not expecting Bobby to fix this anytime soon. So we'll just have to see what happens. I'm very, very concerned about the team, man. I know we all are, Reggie, but that's the great thing. It's a blank slate. Everything that happened in the last 5 games, including the good game in the first game of the season, don't matter at this point. The only thing that matters is jumping the ball at the beginning of the game tonight with Justin Van Dyne and going and playing and making this game a new story. So I know you're concerned. I'm concerned. I've said the things I'm worried about yesterday. Today, I have a blank slate, an open mind for positive things to happen. And I'm not jaded and beaten down psychologically because the Raptors have had 4 bad games. No, it's a new day. Forget about it all. Just like Grady Dick forgets about a missed shot, we got to go forward and have confidence and say we can beat the Cavs tonight. So yeah, let's not get in our feelings. Let's not be like old Toronto fans, sports where we're no, fuck that. We're proud, we're strong, We wipe the slate clean, and we have a new story to write tonight. That's the way you think about it right there. That's it. Kareem saying this is why you draft and develop a center. These 7-foot centers are scarce. We need the length and strength in the middle. He doesn't need to shoot threes or put up points. All we need is presence and a deterrent. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that for sure. You know, but see, centers take so long to develop. And even that list with Rocco and Yannick, Conan and Maxim, those guys aren't ready. Those guys aren't NBA centers yet. They're jabronis that just got here and they don't know what they're doing yet. So it's not like bringing them in would solve the problems. Trading to get one of these rookie centers that just brought in or drafting Common. I don't know if that would have fixed things right now. If we had Malawach instead of Murray Boyles, would we just be starting him? Would he be able to play correctly without making a bunch of bonehead mistakes and maybe leading us to losing? That's why signing a guy like Sandro, who's a couple of years in his career and is more of a solid pro already, is the move that Bobby and them do. You know, Orlando Robinson, Colin Castleton weren't just fresh rookies. They had some experience in the league and they could play to a certain capability. And even then, they weren't totally clean. We saw a lot of problems with their play last year. So that's what I'm saying. The younger the player is, the more the project, and the less you can count on them. Shamshe, you know, any of these guys. Koloko, look at Koloko still this many years in. That's why in some ways it's tough to get these big guys, and especially big guys that aren't knuckleheads in the league. They are scarce. And in some ways, that's why, you know, having a loyalty of Jakob Poeltl to our team is fantastic. That's why acquiring a free agent like Sandro who wants to play in Toronto is fantastic. And now we need to find the right kind of person right now. And I wish Bobby would get somebody today, but I'm not holding my breath. I'm not holding my breath. Trevor's kind of surprised at how Reggie is so concerned, I think. I think that's what he's saying. Okay, Smooth. Wow. Cool Cat's saying this. Center position is Raptors' Achilles heel for so many years. Pipeline development needed. You can't fault us for trying to do this and having two Cameroonian centers snatched from us by the fitness to play panel. I mean, if you're thinking about it, this would be how many years in for Koloko at this point? And if he had not been stolen from us and obstructed and all this stuff, we may be at a different level right now, a very helpful contributing level, if his career hadn't been screwed up by Rich Paul and the fitness to play panel. And now he's on the Lakers and he's just spinning his wheels in development. If we had gotten him clearly through those years, we might have made him into somebody who's a very passable center in the NBA right now. But sadly, the story is a sad story and a tale of cautionary tale. Yeah, and Shamshe, you need to pay attention to this cautionary tale of Christian Koloko. Seriously, bro. Seriously, you need to pay attention to it. Smooth saying this, red flags everywhere right now. See, you're going sky's falling. You're way too negative. Reggie, you need to just focus on your baseball team right now. Seriously, why the fuck are you worrying about the Raptors so much, Reggie? You're ruining a very beautiful time for yourself, for this team. Don't fucking worry about the Raptors right now. How about this? I'll hold it down for you and watching the Raptors and worry about them. You go ahead and just forget about the Raptors and enjoy the World Series. Because you don't need to get bogged down in this shit right now. You're sounding like you're depressed. You should not be anywhere near depressed right now because your team is in the World Series way beyond anything. So just put 100% of your focus on the baseball team and revel in a very, very near victory. Soon, you're going to be World Series champions again. I really believe that. So, Reggie, turn off your basketball mind, maybe even for like a week or a month, and just revel in the success of the Blue Jays for a while. Because right now, you're too down in the dumps. And I ain't having this energy, especially since you are a Blue Jays fan. And you should be on cloud 9 right now. So don't give me this shit, Reggie. Seriously, turn off your basketball brain. Just turn on your baseball brain and just sit over there because you're not in your right mind right now. And that's why Trevor's saying, okay, wow. Seriously, you can get pessimistic about the Raptors right now, but you don't need to. It's too early in the season. And you go ahead and pay attention to baseball and forget about the Raptors right now. Seriously, because it's not helping anything. Red flags everywhere right now. Well, let's clear them up. Let's take those red flags and throw them in the ocean and fucking fix this shit. We have good communication. We're not going to sit around and let toxic shit just fester like Nick Nurse. Darko will fix this shit. Garrett Temple will fix this shit. Scotty will fix this shit. Bobby will fix this shit. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying right there. Shaq Lindsay saying, don't worry, we are learning what pieces fit and what pieces don't. Exactly. Exactly. Through failure, there is learning, and through failure, success comes later. That is always the truth. That's right. That's right. In some ways, the Blue Jays are epitome of this. The Blue Jays had some failure in the last couple of years to get to this success. And everything they did in failure in the years leading up to this added to why they're being successful right now. So understand this. Seriously, understand this. That's right. Kareem saying this, Malawach may have been the better play, especially with Jakob's back pain. We could have plugged him in and microwaved him, just like we see with Colin Murray Boyles. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm with that. I'm with that. I'm with that. Seriously, I'm with that. But we don't know. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. It didn't happen. Common is a son, and we got Colin Murray Boyles, and I'm happy with Colin. In some ways, I think he will be a better pro than Common. It's just that right now it feels like, Colin is not going to help us as much as Common with our present situation. But c'est la vie. We live and we learn, and hopefully we learn through failure to get to success. That's what I'm saying right there. Yeah. All right. You see, Reggie, you're just too in the dumps, man. All right, Reggie, if you didn't get enough sleep last night, if you are not feeding yourself or eating enough, take care of your basic needs, because sometimes your whole mindset will be tainted by not taking care of yourself. So if you have not slept enough, if you have not eaten enough, maybe you're dehydrated, maybe you need a shower. I don't know, because you're sounding really down, because this is crazy. You're saying bad habits are forming, man. The bad habits were already there. Honestly, let's just be honest. Scotty's had bad habits his whole entire career. Emmanuel quickly, in some ways, has had bad habits. These guys aren't the most fundamental smart players. In some ways, the overall NBA is fucked up and as a whole, because the players like LaMelo Ball exist. Seriously. The old head mentalities that we had about don't jack up a three on a transition play when none of your teammates are down at the court yet is an old school mentality that should still be true, because these are winning fundamental ideals of how to win in basketball. But us old heads apparently have not taught the young generation to not be knuckleheads and follow these rules. In some ways, I hate this shit. That's unprofessional. That shit is bad habits for sure. Missing free throws, not taking your time to make free throws, that's a bad habit. Fucking making weak ass passes, that's a bad habit. Fucking looking back when you're about to make a dunk, that's a bad habit. But in some ways, it's like, look, this isn't new. Some of these guys had these bad habits for a while. They're just rearing their ugly heads around really bad losses. And they look juvenile and stupid too, because we're losing. I see, yeah, a lot of bad habits are happening with guys, but also good habits are happening with people like Walter. Jacoby Walter is one of the most fundamentally sound young players in the league right now. That man does everything right with his footwork, with the way he carries himself, with the way he attacks his defensive stuff, and the way he goes about his offense too. That's why Walter's a keeper, because he's been trained right, and he's fundamentally very sound. Jamal Shedd's another very fundamentally sound player. So there may be a couple of players on our team that play loose and maybe a little silly with some of the bullshit they do. But there are players on our team that are doing it right. And I value those guys. And I want those guys to stay on our team. Yeah, bad habits are forming. Well, let's break them and let's form good habits. That's right. We got to turn the coin. That's right. Fiercely saying to Jake, Wiseman has been bounced from one team to another and recently got waived by the Pacers to make room for Mac McClung. Not a good look. There's something wrong with James Wiseman. I'm telling you right now, you can be talented and have the size, the body, the strength to be an NBA player. But if you just don't mentally have it, or you're just not the right kind of personality and you screw it up, yeah, there's something wrong there. Seriously. And I wondered about Kuminga too after him. But Kuminga seems like he's redemption kind of thing. They figured things out. But in some ways, Kuminga's a knucklehead too. In some ways too, but he's a talented enough knucklehead that some of the knuckleheadness kind of gets balanced out. But Wiseman wasn't good enough to balance out the knuckleheadness of himself. That's a problem right there. And the Warriors have been picking some knuckleheads. That's what I've been seeing. That's right. Shaq Lindsay saying, I don't believe in tanking, but I do believe in reevaluating the pieces you have in order to build something better. Yes. And I'm with you completely on that, Shaq Lindsay. And we will. That's part of the process for this year. I just hope that the guys stay together, because some of the things that we're seeing right now are showing signs that they're not fully together, and the internal competition may be getting to them, and they need to stay together. In some ways, that's part of the problem with it being such a competitive roster, is that in some ways it's much harder to keep guys together when they actually really see that their futures kind of like don't go together and they are competing for the same future. So it's tough. It's tough. In some ways, that's part of the tough job for Darko this year is to balance the competitiveness of the deep roster and deciding who's going to get play and this who's going to do this and not have these guys kind of like go against each other. They have to stay together. They have to stay together. James is saying this. Bobby needs to draft a center, upcoming draft top priority. He won't do it though. The reason why he won't do it is because they're projects. And the move for him is to just acquire a center who's like 3 or 4 years into their career. So that's more likely. He's going to draft another position, undersized forward again. I don't know. And he'll look for a center in the free agency. And he'll get a guy who's 4 or 5 years in their career because those guys are proven and they're not projects. And all the development and the time spent waiting for them to learn the NBA game is somewhere else. And we're not wasting time with it. That's why Sandro got acquired. That's why we get players like him. And we don't draft a center because they don't want to waste time waiting around for the center to get better. And who knows, fitness to play may be coming in and saying, yeah, you're a center. He's got blood clots. Sorry, he can't play. And snatch, we fucking do this. This happened twice now, James. So I don't see him drafting no center. Purely because his action is to go get a more in their career center and add him to the roster for free agency. That's what he's more likely to do. Trevor's saying we are panicking too fast. Yes, Trevor's right, and I'm gonna give Trevor a dunk for that. I like this. In some ways, I went off. Sure, I went crazy yesterday, but that's the passion of me saying we need to do something now to try and fix this, Bobby. That's why I was going off like that yesterday. It wasn't because I'm mad at the team. It wasn't because I hate the team and I don't want good things for them. I want good things for them. I want them to get off their ass and I want them to start winning again. 159 on the dunk chart for Trevor. That's right. After 1 and 4, what would we have done if it was 1 and 15? Remember, the race is not how fast you start; it's where you finish. I like this. Trevor's exactly right, and that's why you got a dunk for that comment. Good to see G in the chat. Raptors Freak Trivia Champion G. Reggie saying this at Trevor, it's not the record, it's the effort that's very concerning. They look like they're overmatched and don't care. Yeah, I won't argue with Reggie that has looked like that in the last couple games, but we can get this together. Seriously. Like I said, it's a blank slate every single day. We could be playing the Thunder next, and it looks like we have no fucking chance, and we beat the Thunder, guys. This is the NBA. This has always been this way since I watched it since the 80s. Shitty teams beat top teams. Top teams lose to shitty teams. And top teams beat shitty teams too. But it's just, the NBA is going to be a wild card sometimes. And the shit that you don't think would happen will happen. So let's be open to the possibility of anything happening tonight, including a Raptors victory over the Cavs in Cleveland. Seriously, we got to be open to that. That's right. Wayne's saying this, morning Raptor Freaks. Raptors have to get back that pride of no easy baskets in the paint. Yes. Isn't just NBA players or knuckleheads. A few Raptors fans are as well, hence the Cloud GMs. That's fair. That's fair. Sergeant Arms saying, yeah, that's fair. Knuckleheads are on the fan nation too. For sure. For sure. Yeah, I think this is true. I think this is where Reggie and I have the most concerns is that these guys are rolling over and letting themselves lose more than they have, even when they'd had really shitty teams in Tampa and other places. There was more fight. There was more passion, and it seemed like they cared more right up until the last buzzer. In some ways, we're showing a white flag waved somewhere in the middle of the fourth quarter lately and not playing as hard right up until the end of the game. And these are things that since Darko's been the coach, we said this has been very standard and uniform, but all of a sudden it's gone all of a sudden. That's what's concerning. And I see the same thing that Reggie sees. But Darko, hopefully him and his coaches can reorient these guys into the right kind of attitude and how they should play. And the effort needs to be better. The effort needs to be better, and they do need to care more. They do need to care, and that pride needs to be found. Wayne's exactly right. Good Game saying this, all these years of tanking have created bad habits. They need to deprogram, and this might take some time. So they were never tanking. I hate that because, first of all, the difference of what I just said, G, with what Reggie's describing is that we usually have a good effort even if we lose and we don't have the talent to win. Like the last 2 years, A lot of games that we've lost, we played very hard and played competitively, and we're in the games, but we just didn't have the talent to close it out and win. Now, right now, we have the talent to close it out to win, but we're not showing the effort that we showed from the last 2 years. And that's what's concerning to Smooth Brown Man and myself. Now, I don't think that we've been programmed to tank or we have bad habits of tanking. No, I think it's just that we are forgetting our never quit mentality of never giving up and going at them over and over again. We have lost that in the last couple games, and that's what's concerning right now. That's what's concerning right now to me personally. Is that's the problem right now. I don't mind if they lose if they're pulling their ass off and they did everything they can. But when you have Brandon Ingram on your team now, and you have such a talented starting five, we're expected to win. And if we're not getting the effort, that's what the red flag, that's the concerning thing for Reggie right now. That's the thing he's worried about. And I'm with him on that. And that's why we need a change. And that's why they have to get back to the way they've played most of the time they've been under Darko. And that's all out and not giving up at any point and playing right until the end of the buzzer, even if the game is out of hand, you know? Kareem saying this, the more I think about it, the more fucking pissed I get. How the fuck we get rid of Castleton, Orlando, Champche, and not even draft Common? Like, what the fuck is our front office thinking? We had players in place. Get a fucking center. Now, see, he sounds like me yesterday a little bit. I know, and this has pissed me off as far as things. I don't know the philosophy of why y'all ignore centers, Bobby. I don't know why, in some ways I get it. You guys, we got to admit, they have had to have projects in the pipeworks with Koloko and Champche, and those have been ripped from us. Jonte Porter's another sad case of somebody that landed in our laps that could have been a very helpful player for us right now, but he's a fucking degenerate gambler. So it's like we've had some bad misfortune with centers in particular around our team. It's in the last couple of years. You think about that. Now, Robinson and Castleton not being our team. First of all, we know why Castleton isn't. He absolutely fucked up his summer league and looked like shit. And that may have been on purpose because he didn't want to be on the Raptors. Orlando Robinson's the one that pisses me off kind of more because I would have picked him over Castleton from the start. He was solid, but I have a feeling that Orlando Robinson did not gel with the team personality-wise completely last year, and that's why he's not on our team right now. It could very well be that there were some things that were happening on the court with Orlando interacting with people like Scotty and other people on the team, and he was getting in the way. In some ways, they weren't happy with him in some ways, even though he was doing some things really good for us. So it was determined that he wasn't the right fit, even though it seemed like to me he was providing very essential things that this team needs at the depth of center. So it's a tough thing with Orlando. He's the one that really kind of bugs me the most out of all of them, because there is no reason why we couldn't have Orlando Robinson right now. Castleton was shitty, and he was a dead end. He obviously played like he didn't want to be on our team in Summer League. But Orlando played like he wanted to be here, and he wanted to be here all the time. But could it be that Orlando was rejected by some of the main leaders on our team as far as somebody they didn't really want to play with? That sucks. Because honestly, Orlando was very helpful to us last season. And he would be helpful as hell right now. Oh my gosh, he would be. Yeah, Isaac's laughing at Kareem going off. G saying, Kareem, even if they weren't the best, keep them until you get an upgrade. Now our forwards are playing out of position, and this can lead to injuries banging with bigs. Yeah, Tampa season. Pascal Siakam at center. OG playing center. I hate that shit. I don't want Scotty to play center. Bobby, get us more centers, man. One way or another. Be creative. Talk to Luke Wynn. See if he's got somebody down there. Do something, my guy. Seriously, man. Seriously. Yeah. Let's see. Shaq Lindsay saying, let's be honest, getting a big now isn't going to fix our problem. Our problem is that our players aren't or incapable of defending. I hope that isn't the case, but time will tell. They're not playing right. They're missing assignments, and then it just falls apart. To have a stout defense, you all really have to be on the same page, communicating, and you have to be working together to really cover stuff up. And there's a lot of blown assignments. Some of it is that there's new players on our team. Some of it is that we have rookies out there like Colin, and there are assignments that are being missed. There was one in particular in the last game where Sandro went out and Scotty yelled at him for being away from the basket because an easy layup. That's stuff that the tape room and the coaches need to reorient in their game plan and get the guys to rededicate themselves to trying to play excellent defense. And hopefully this stuff will happen. Hopefully this stuff will happen. Good game saying this. Also, the rebounding is last in the league. So rebounding big would help some problems. Like I said, if somebody on the team who's already on the team, who's not coming, will start doing a Dennis Rodman impersonation or something like that, or just, I don't give a shit, guys. I'm just going to go get rebounds. If Jonathan came to practice and he said, Darko, I'll just go and get all the rebounds. I'll just try and do a rebound as much as possible. Will you play me more? You know, that's what I would say is like we need. Colin Murray Boyles, you're a rookie. You know what? Forget about the threes. Forget about trying to score. Just fucking go get rebounds. If you get offensive rebounds, put them back and get garbage points. You go collect all the defensive rebounds. Just worry about that shit. Just be a one-track mind. I just need a couple of those guys. If we had 2 guys on our team that were just dedicated to just worrying about rebounds all the time right now, we would be better off. We would be better off because they need to go get it. It's an effort thing. And in some ways, they're not intelligently boxing out or looking for the ball when it comes off the backboard in the way that they can go track it. They're not doing any of that. And that's rebounding. That's rebounding. They need to do that better. We can't be last in the league. And we can't get doubled up on rebounds like we have been. G saying this, teams are getting so many second chance points due to rebounding, which is upping their points. Yeah, exactly. Box out. Neil saying this, you can't say IQ is freezing people out without calling out the coach. The coach is responsible for holding the players accountable, so the coach is to spot these problems. Neil, I feel like that's a convoluted thing to say. No, I can call out a player on the court because the coach isn't controlling him in that instant. And there are instances where I will see somebody wide open and Emmanuel does not throw the ball to them. And I'm wondering why. I'm going to look for the pattern still going forward. If he gets better about it, if he finds people that we see that are wide open, I'll be like, okay, IQ's not doing it anymore. But for right now, I have to watch out for this because the allegations that Power came with last week are somewhat kind of looking true from the last couple games. And well, I'm going to be watching them. And if it seems like he had a person that was wide open with the 3 to the right or left of him and he does not pass it to them, I'm going to call it out because that's what it is. It's not Darko, man. It's not Darko. You can't blame Darko for this, man. Come on. It's a player's instinctual decision in the moment that's deciding this because everything the players are doing on there is up to them to a degree because the play action is very flexible to allow for creativity. So it's IQ. It's not Darko. You can't call it that. Wayne's saying this. Totally disagreed with your point on IQ. However, he still needs a girlfriend. IQ is obviously overthinking his game is a reflection of his insecurity at the point guard position. So you disagree with the Christian thing that I was saying earlier, that he's a good Christian, that he wouldn't live a false life of deception? I don't know. In some ways, that's not what the teachings of Jesus Christ teach. I know there's a lot of fake Christians out there that say they're Christian, but they're absolutely evil people that absolutely are racist and fucking would like do awful things. And they think it's in the name of Christ. I mean, the Crusades, I mean, the missionary work in Africa, all that shit was done in the name of Christ. And they were absolutely horrendous, evil, antichrist people. The people that were colonizers and missionaries that brought Christianity to the savages and that bullshit. You know, I would say this, Emmanuel seems like he is exactly as he presents himself to be. I don't think the girlfriend thing has anything to do with anything. And who knows, he may have a girlfriend. It's just not very public. So I don't know. I don't totally understand your point, Wayne. I think that Trevor's right, though, that if he is a good Christian, he's not going to be living a false life and trying to be a deceptive person. And I think that that's right there. Kareem's yelling a lot today. Have a fucking good team with players out of position fucks everything all up. And we're seeing doing this since 2019. He can't even spell right. He's so angry. He can't even spell right. He's so angry. I'm livid. Well, calm down. Seriously. All right. Everybody who's upset right now, just watch the Blue Jays tonight, please. Just enjoy the baseball. We're going to be World Series champs soon, hopefully. I really think we will. And y'all just go on that tip for a little bit. Seriously, if y'all are really losing like blood pressure, getting crazy, and you're getting all stressed out and you're livid and you're angry and you're misspelling your comments, just chill, bro. Seriously, Kareem, I love you, man. And I want your wife to not feel like you're going crazy right now. So just watch the Jays and enjoy the aura and the glow of the World Series right now. Seriously, there's so much to be happy as a strong sports fan right now. And the Raptors are at a backtrack and a little bit of a problem right now. But thank God the Blue Jays are in the World Series about to win another title. So just switch gears, guys. If y'all are this pissed off and this angry, just get in baseball tip. Switch from the basketball. Seriously. Just for a little while, guys. Just for a little while. Yeah, I want you guys to be happy. And seriously, this is a really important time for the baseball team. And, this doesn't come all the time. When's the last time they were there? It was 93. So come on, guys. Let's really enjoy the special situation with the Blue Jays right now and stop overreacting to the Raptors right now. I think that Trevor is right, that we are overreacting 1-4 too soon. I think that there's a lot of calm voices in this channel right now that are saying some of this stuff. And the people that are really overly anxious or angry or stressed about the Raptors, you need to just chill out, and enjoy the baseball for a little bit. I'm telling you right now, we'll figure this out. It's really dark and it looks bad right now. I'm not disagreeing with y'all, but we can get this figured out. As Monique said after the game the other night, she said we can only go up. And I think she's right. We're going to go up at some point. Yeah, G's saying this. I'm glad you are being more fair with IQ. I just think this may be a bit over his talent level right now. Not saying he won't get there. I don't know, but he went from bench to starter, big leap. Yeah, every player has their own growing pains and their own kind of path and the player they'll become. Scotty's path is weird, but he has a lot of promise in the long run. And IQ, it's the same thing. He's healthy. Let's count our blessings. These guys are healthy, most of them, other than Yak. And that's something to be very grateful for. Now, in some ways, that's part of the reason why we're saying, well, we need to be winning then. We need to be winning then. If we're paying them this much and they're healthy, I'm totally with you on that. That's right. Let's see. Kareem's saying, good thing the Jays are on 30 minutes after tip-off. Yeah, like I said, man, if the Raptors look really bad again tonight and they're really going bad, just switch the game. Switch the game and just get on the baseball tip. Seriously. If that's what you have to do, guys, do it. And I'll hold down the fort. I'm not going to watch the baseball game. You guys enjoy it. I want to get this World Series, so I'm not going to watch it. And I'll watch the Cavs game. And, we'll talk about it tomorrow. If you guys don't want to watch the Raptors game tonight because you're watching the World Series, do it. That's what I say right there. That's what I do right there. All right. Neil's saying this. The question now becomes, why has the coach held the players? Why the coach has held the players accountable? Are the players tuned out? Is the coach too friendly? See, in some ways, you're pulling things apart with speculation. That's way too much jumping from thing to thing. Sure, we could worry about all this. In some ways, we don't even want to think about this because it's not good. It's not going in the right direction. So, Neil, I caution you, man. Let's not make up narratives that aren't true just for the sake of trying to answer questions that we desperately want questions answered to. No, fuck that. Let's just believe things are okay and we're going to be fine. And we'll get this figured out. If there are problems with the coach, it'll all come through. We had major problems with the coach Nurse, and everything at the end of the season came out the way it was supposed to. I'm not willing to throw Darko under the bus while he's in the middle of trying to fix things. So we need to stop. We need to allow him time and runway to fix things and get this plane off the runway still this season. Because he can, and he will. I believe in him. And I mean, starting to speculate, why has he not held them accountable? He has held them accountable. I'm sure he has. It's just a lot of this shit is behind private doors that we don't get to see. I'm sure there's been very tough discussions. It's very much been characterized as he's friendly and we love him and he looks out for us, but he's also very harsh and he will talk to the tough stuff to us. It's not like he's all sunshine and rainbows, guys. He does come at these players and tell them what they need to do better. He is critical of them. He does hold them accountable. There is very much evidence of this. I've seen it on Open Gym. I've also heard that the players say this, that Darko is tough on us, and he does hold us accountable. So don't make up narratives that aren't true. Are the players tuned out? Well, this is something that I was a little bit worried about because the signs of players being tuned out are similar when they're unprofessional. OG and Siakam were a little bit more tuned out on their last couple months as Raptors. And in some ways, there may be a couple of guys that think that the writing's on the wall and they're going to be out of the Raptors this season through trade. and maybe they're tuning out, that could be a problem. And I don't want that. I don't want that, seriously, because that will mess up the chemistry and mess up our team and cause things to go south, just like it did when Schroeder was on our team. So that is a concern I have. That, that's why I want these players to show that they're locked in and that they are not tuned out, because there was a little bit of evidence that it does seem like they're tuned out. That's fair. That one's fair. Is the coach too friendly? No. I answered that already. He's very friendly and he's with everybody, but he has the right to come at them and criticize them too. It's not like he's pussyfooting around them and massaging egos. If he has to tell them tough things, he will. Trust me. And he has that with all of them, from Scott all the way down. He will tell them what they want to see. Yeah, bullseye. I don't know if it's a bullseye. The one thing he said there are the players tuned out. I'm a little worried about that. But not the coaching stuff. Smooth saying, we have no bigs, just no bigs. Yes. But we have a baseball team in the World Series. So go focus on that. G saying this, believe it or not, the Raptors have decent offensive stats in the league. Yeah, we're like one of the top offensive leagues this year. That's the trade-off. Could it be this, that we've gone into this weird overbalance with Brandon being such an offensive power that we've lost our defensive identity because we made a leap in our offensive identity. So we've lost our defensive identity. And in some ways, we got to go back and recollect our defensive identity with the new power in our offensive identity. And there's just a natural balancing out that we have to figure out as a roster, because it's very true. Our offensive stats are better than ever right now in like the last couple of years. And in some ways, that's a good sign. We just need to get the effort and clean up the defense, and we may be all right, y'all. I think that G's right on with this. Believe it or not, the Raptors have decent offensive stats in the league. We're like third in offense in the whole league right now, guys. We're one of the highest scoring teams in the league right now. Even though we're losing, they are dead last in rebounds. Offensive rating is 14th in the league. Defensive is 28th. All their issues are rebounding and defense. Exactly. And in some ways, those are the things that you can get and fix on your team easiest. So that's another thing that's kind of in our favor. I'm going to give G a dunk for bringing up a good point that we have a very good offense right now, even if we're not winning. That's why we have to figure out the balance and get the winning formula with the new offense, So 72 for G on the dunk chart, 72. Let's see. Kareem saying, meanwhile, there's teams in the West 3 centers deep while we got rookies who are 6'9" starting. The East is smaller in some ways. We can't look at the West. In some ways, well, let's see how we match up with Cleveland, one of the bigger teams in the East. If Allen's not there, well, maybe we do match up with them pretty good size-wise tonight. Seriously. Because it's not like they have a bunch of bigs off the bench. It's like Thomas Bryant, guys. So we may actually have a good matchup tonight with the Cavs on the down low that we don't even realize. And it's just that we always think with Mobley and Allen, they're just a very tall, empowering team. But a lot of their really big guys they had on the bench over the years are gone. Tristan Thompson ain't there anymore. Kevin Love ain't there anymore. So their bench guys, they don't have a lot of 7-footers on their team like they did before. And we may be able to match up with them okay tonight. Seriously. Once again, I mean, this is the criticism of Bobby, and this is definitely why I went off on him yesterday. Fucking get us more bigs, Bobby. Seriously. We need depth at that position, obviously. Seriously, figure this out. Stargate's here. Good to see Stargate. I don't understand why they let Orlando Robinson go. That's confusing to me. I speculated on that earlier. I think it may be that he wasn't liked by some of the main players on our team, and they were like, no, I don't want Orlando on the team. And that's why they got rid of him. I'm going to speculate that's probably why it is. Because I didn't think there was anything wrong with him either. But internally, maybe there were issues because, maybe some players on the team didn't like playing with him necessarily. I don't know. Shaq Lindsay saying, I agree that part of the problem is players are playing out of position. The production off the bench is atrocious. It's one thing to have scoring droughts, but to allow the other team to put up numbers on you makes it worse. Yeah. All right. I have different assignments for different players on our team. Scotty, rededicate yourself to defense. Be a team leader on defense. Learn from the school of Wallace and Duncan on how to be the anchor in the defense and be the person that is keeping everybody in the right places, communicating. And you need to be one of the last lines of the defense because Yak is out. So if you can channel your Ben Wallace In fact, if you get your hair out and put it up like he used to, like Ben Wallace, maybe that'll symbolize that, yes, Scotty is back on defensive team stuff. And that's what I want for you. All right, Brandon, I want you to do what you've done at the start of the game, continue to do that, but carry through to the end of the game. And then in some ways, I know it's dependent on Darko playing you at the end of the game, but I really want to see late game heroics from you in the fifth, 5 minutes to go in the game. That we need Brandon Ingram to show up and get baskets for us late in crunch time. RJ Barrett, keep doing what you're doing. Make your free throws. Keep your effort on defense. Emmanuel Quickly, lock in. Stop looking like you're all over the place. Start really paying attention and get laser focused. You have a lot of skills and powers, and you need to use the correct ones. And I need you to get after loose balls better. In some ways, I want you to set up your teammates for success. You make your threes, that's great too. Let's see. Who's another person I should do? Colin Murray Boyles, focus on rebounding, focus on defense. I don't give a shit about your offense. You can fucking go get garbage baskets, that's fine. Make some open threes, sure. But focus on rebounding and defense. Rebounding especially, because that's what we really need. Jamal Shed, you're our backup point guard. I need you to get the guys off the bench involved more. I need you to find Grady and get him some points. I need you to find Jacoby and get him some points. I need you to find Oshai and get him some points. That's your job, Shed. Get your own points, but also get your teammates off the bench scoring, because the bench scoring is reflective of you, Jamal Shed. So you need to get us going on Shed. Grady Dick, make your open shots. Play harder on defense. Do the best that you possibly can on defense. Play all out. Hit the floor and make your open shots, Grady Dick. Oshai Abaji, make your open threes too in the corner. And just keep playing that very strong level defense that you play. Jacoby Walter, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing fine. But maybe be more aggressive to try and score yourself. Because I honestly think you could be trying to score more, but you're kind of just playing the team game for everybody. But we may need you to be a little bit more aggressive trying to look for your shot, Walter. That's what I say. Jameson Battle, same thing as I said to Grady Dick. Make your shots and continue to excel on defense and rebounding. Jonathan Mobo, just rebound. I don't give a shit if you do anything else. Just come into the game and rebound. Sandro, do what you've been doing. You've been doing pretty good overall, but don't miss your defensive assignments. This is a little bit of list for each one of the guys tonight, for something for them to do, to try and do this, to help this. And hopefully some of those assignments that I just said to each of those specific Raptors, they happen tonight, because those will be helpful to us winning. I'll tell you that right now. And yeah, I don't like people playing out of position, but if they don't have Jared Allen, well, Evan Mobley at power forward will be at center, and everybody will be a little bit evened out through the lineups between ours and theirs. That's right. Numbers on you make it worse. That's right. Shaq, things get trickled down. Okay. Trevor J saying Spurs beat Miami last night 5-0, and the Thunder are 6-0. The Spurs have their best record to start a season since like their last championship, and this is a good sign. I'm so happy for the Spurs, man. I am not hating on them at all, and I'm rooting for them. You know, I think the Raptors will be fine, and we're going to get things together. But even if we don't, I vicariously can start rooting for the Spurs this year and Wemby, and hoping that they'll go and get a championship. Seriously. Because I will get behind the Spurs. Seriously, I have no problem with that. That's beautiful. It's 5-0 start. I love it. I love it. G saying this, I know we are beating a dead horse, but imagine a center grabbing a bunch of rebounds and our players able to run and transition and not worry about getting around bigs to grab rebounds all the time. Yeah, that sounds idyllic. That sounds like a picturesque lake that has a beautiful scenery. That sounds great to me. I would love it. Shaq Lindsay saying, you're not going to say it, but I will. IQ, Dick, Sandro, and Oshai better step it up on defense. Darko, please. Give them a short lease. Play Jacoby in battle. I don't want to believe I overrated this team. That's two different comments from two different people. All right. I agree with what Shaq Lindsay's saying. You know, I think the overall team effort has to be better all around, whether it's going to get loose balls, whether it's going to get rebounds, whether it's defense. It all just needs to be better. In some ways, half of our problems is just a lazy ass effort that is not what we're used to doing. And that's why we're worried about maybe these guys aren't taking this shit seriously on the down low. That's why I worry the most. So that's why they got to prove otherwise. Come with a new energy, a new effort, and be like, damn, this is our old Raptors we know. This is the team hitting the floor. This is the team going and getting it done and making things happen. Because that's part of the problem. We've had 4 games where they have not been making things happen, and they've been kind of spectators instead of doing things on the court. And I'm not about that. I'm not about that. You know, we're Raptors freaks. We're going to overrate this team to an extent because so many other people underrate us. So it's a balance. Now, right now, it don't look good with how we rated it, but I feel like we're still going to be all right. Trust me. I still feel like we can be a top Eastern team. It's just that we're in a very early growing pains. And sometimes it's good that these growing pains happen now. Seriously, if Jakob got hurt in the middle of the season and we're going through this at a different time, it could be very destructive. It's much better that it happens now. We get a look at our holes, and maybe Bobby will fix them, and we'll get this all fixed up, and we'll be in better shape. So it's better sooner than later is what I'll say. I'll say on that. That's what I'll say. It's better sooner than later. Yeah, Boardman gets paid. That's right. Seymour paid. That's right. That's right. That's in the Raptors history. That's right. Boardman gets paid. Stargate saying, I said it last night in Discord. I believe IQ is really, really trying to play like a more traditional point guard. It's not exactly working how he wants, but I don't believe he is dogging it. See, there's somebody standing up for IQ. This may be true that the transition to more traditional point guard is having some weird wrinkle effects on his game and how things are going. This could very well be true. Shaq Lindsay saying, I agree why they let Orlando Robinson go doesn't make sense. Orlando was a good rebounder and a decent defender. He also took up a lot of space, and in some ways he may have made people annoyed because he was just getting in the way sometimes. Now, that's dumb because you want a big guy like that to take up space and do what he does. So I don't know. Whatever the rationale for it was, I know he liked being a Raptor, and he would have stayed here, like from his end. The Raptors didn't choose him, though, and that hurts. That hurts. And in some ways, I feel like that was a poor decision. I'm with you guys. In some ways, Orlando Robinson's a name that I might bring up over and over again, Bobby Webster, and be like, why the fuck did this not work? Well, we may not know the real reason ever because it may be locker room shit. And we will never know. We will never know. Fiercely saying, Lex, when they cut you off, do you get some sort of error message or explanation as to why? Yeah. This screen that I see in front of me has the template for the studio for YouTube. And I have all these different little things I can do as the producer. And all of a sudden, yesterday, at 2 hours and 20 minutes into my stream, the whole screen went white. And it had that little icon with the little folder, and it said, oh, snap. You've lost your connection. And it cut me off. And it wasn't even YouTube. I think it was my computer or something that happened, or the internet that did it. It wasn't YouTube. It was just that the browser just dumped me. It's really weird. But yeah, I do get a message. I don't get any explanation. I mean, there's been different ways I've been kicked off. Sometimes the YouTube stream's quality will go low, and it'll just like start like, you know, what do we call it? Like lagging. And then sometimes like yesterday wasn't that. It was something that happened to do with the browser. And then other times I'll get cut off because the Rogers connection or the internet connection that I'm on just kind of gets flaky, and it boots me off too. So there's 3 different ways I can get knocked off. And yesterday was a weird one. It was the browser that knocked me off. It wasn't the internet or YouTube. It was the browser. It was a weird one. Seymour saying this, Jaylen Brown staying in jerseys is hilarious. If you're going to go and ball, just accept it. Stop with the paint of hairlines. Yeah. This is like, you know, it was funny, man. I used to work at the Kensington Variety in Kensington Market. And, you know, because I have my show. And there was a guy who worked at Proper Barbers. He was like the owner. And at Proper Barbers was a barbershop just a couple doors over from us on Kensington. And this is so goofy. He come into the store and he see me with my shaved head, my bald head. And he said, you know, I could tattoo hair on your head. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, man, I have this new procedure. I'll just go in and I'll tattoo the hair. Like it looks like you have hair on your head, but it's a tattoo. And I'm like, what? I was like, seriously, I'll do this for you. It'd be great. I'm like, I don't have any want to do this in any kind of way. First of all, I don't want tattoos. I don't want the needle or any of that bullshit. I've never gotten a tattoo in my life. I don't have a single one. Why the fuck would I tattoo my whole entire head to have hair on my head? It was one of the weirdest things somebody proposed to me ever. But yeah, in some ways it's like, look, women, you know, I've heard recently Cameron Diaz came out and said, I regret getting Botox and changing my face with plastic surgery. I wish I'd just let my face grow and age naturally and have the natural lines. And I believe this is true. And I think this is true too about your hair. I think that men that are so worried about having a full head of hair and have to do this, that shows a weakness for you. Seriously. Like, really? Do you need to do this? Is your vanity and your ego that important? So to me, I've always been like, well, I have very light hair and it's blonde and it's thinned. And in some ways, it didn't look right with it growing. So it's like, just fucking shave your head, Lex. And I haven't looked back. But some people try and use that as like cracking on me. It's like, oh, you're a shaved bald guy. I don't care. They act like it's a deterrent. Like, why is this a big deal? Some people have hair, some people don't. And anybody who looks down on somebody because they don't have a head of hair, well, you're an idiot. You know, it's actually true that men that don't have a lot of hair is because they have a lot of masculinity. They have a lot of testosterone. That's why they lose their hair. So it's like, you know, you look at it any which way you want. But I think the whole shaming of people for, oh, you need to wear a toupee or you need to get tattoo your hair on your head. Like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Grow gracefully. Seriously, Jaylen Brown. And get your head like Mike. Be like Mike. If you could be like Mike, if I want to be like Mike, just shave that fucking head, man. Seriously, Jaylen Brown. What are you doing? Wiping your hair on people's jerseys, Ron Holland. All right, let's see. Smooth saying, where is Sheb? His YouTube channel is gone, even if he was 6'9". All right. Wait, what is that about? Even if he's 6'9". Orlando? No, he's a 7-footer. I don't know where Sheb is. I've heard that Sheb has been going off on the team, though, this week. So I have no idea where he is, though. Stargate saying at Shaq, Sandro has actually been playing well. Oshai has been okay as well with his defense, but just isn't hitting his shots. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just see a regular overall team. We can point out specific guys, but we really need the whole team effort to be different. The whole team effort. And that's the collective and not necessarily individuals. Not necessarily individuals. Seymour saying this at Smooth. He probably chopped it down out of rage due to poor start. Don't jump ship. Stick with them through thick or thin. I hate only good time fans. Yeah. Fair weather fans, go on then. You don't want to root for the Raptors this year. Just go on and stay away. When they start getting good again with Brandon Ingram, you're going to come back. I know. And we'll be like, yeah, you weren't here, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. We want the support either way, but it takes a real one to ride or die through everything with the Raptors. And this man right here has been doing it for 31 seasons. So in some ways, this is a cakewalk compared to some of the early shit and the Bosch years. This is a cakewalk, guys. We have a lot more promise. We have a player of the caliber of Brandon Ingram on our team. There's a lot more sunshiny days ahead than dismal days, like when we had Bargnani and Bosch, guys. So come on now. Let's be real here. Let's be real about the whole thing in the big picture. Come on now. All right, let's see. What else was saying? Stargate saying Shev is still there. He posted yesterday. He's okay. Okay. Shaq Lindsay saying Brown got exposed. I knew that hairline was way too long and straight. Who cares? Who cares? And we know LeBron's got a weird ass one. Dennis Schroeder's got a weird hairline. Everybody's got weird hairlines. In some ways, who cares? Who cares? As a man, he ain't got no hair. This is one of the dumbest things that people use against each other, make fun of people. Jaylen Brown's so shallow that he has to paint a little line across his head. That's his problem. He's not the only one. There's a lot of guys doing this around the NBA, including Jalen Rose. So come on now, guys. Come on now. In some ways, this isn't even really news. Talking about Jaylen Brown's hairline. What the fuck are we doing here? Come on now. Fiercely saying this. I need to feel the vibes are back. So far, team energy is off. Wishing they can regroup and get back to a positive space. Then the wins will come. Go Raptors. That's the right attitude right there. That's it right there, Fiercely. Seymour saying, but Steve Harvey of the NBA, paint on hairline. Yeah. I mean, this is a phenomena I guess some people want to do because their ego. For me, I never even went in this world. I'm like, I'm gracefully going to take the razor to my head and take all the hair off. And there's no problem. And look, I hadn't had to be a barber. And I don't know. I haven't gone to the barber in like 8 years since I started shaving my head. And I just shave it myself. I save a bunch of money there. I just shave my head like once or twice a week. And I'm good. I'm good. It's real easy. Yeah, G's saying Shev was actually positive in his first video and he tempered expectations. Okay, well, that's good. I'm sure he's changed completely in the last week. Shaq Lindsay saying Brown needs to stop spraying that stuff and just glue it down. All right, too much talk about Jaylen Brown's hair today, guys. Too much talk here. You guys are pretty funny, man. All right, let me see. I lost my place. Let me just try and find it again. Okay, Oh, I see some cutoffs. All right, here we go. Seymour's laughing. Neil saying, put Sandro as starting center. Have Colin be backup power forward and Mobo be backup center. I like that. I agree with that. I'll give Neil a dunk. That's what I would do if it was Darko. But in some ways, he wants to put Scotty at center. If Evan Mobley's the center tonight, that's not a big deal either. But I'm going to give Neil a dunk for this one because I like that depth chart right there. That's what I would do. 72 on the dunk charts for Neil right here. Yeah, that's what I would do. Start Sandro at center, Scotty at power forward, and Brandon and RJ and Emmanuel. And then you got Jonathan coming off the bench at center and Collins the backup power forward. In some ways, he got to start. He's great, but maybe we need him off the bench for a little bit of juice. And Sandro's a more proper center. Now, if Allen is out, I don't mind them starting more Murray Boyles at power forward and Scotty playing against Mobley at center. It'll work then. It'll work then. Kaloy saying tonight will be telling on how this team plays. Well, we're going to watch them. Now, if they fail and they don't look any better, I'm not going to burn this house down and Chicken Little this shit. I'm still going to be saying y'all still need to fix this shit because there's a lot of season still. And there's no reason for Raptors fan to burn their whole team down just 6 or 7 games in the season. That's ridiculous, y'all. Seriously, we need to stop doing that. Especially remember how we started last year. And, you know, we had better parts of the season later. Wayne saying this, Colin is worthy of starting, not because he's better than Mamu, but to create balance for the bench. Although I don't think Colin works with IQ. Colin works with Shed. Darko got to figure out to hide IQ. IQ needs to be better defensively. That's Kaloy. You know, there is more natural point guard work by Shed. And that's why I'm kind of like, yeah, in some ways we work better with Shed out there because it's a little more chaotic with IQ. It's a little bit more unexpected. But in some ways, that's what Darko wants, the unexpected kind of wild card that IQ could be in any kind of different ways. And maybe that's part of the reason why IQ's playing this way is because Darko has kind of talked about in interviews about our offense being very unexpected and not being very easy to predict. So maybe that's part of the reason why Quickly is playing this way is because he wants to be that wild card, unpredictable kind of anything could happen while we're on this side of the court. I don't know. I'm trying to grasp at straws. I'm trying to figure this out to figure out what the fuck is going on. And either way, we got to see a better effort tonight that we can build off of, even if we don't win. We win, that's great. That means we did something right. If we don't win, but we built on things and we saw some signs of going in the right direction, we will take that as a victory tomorrow too, also. Because this is a tough game. In fact, I think this was the toughest game in October for us on paper. But if there's injuries to the Cavs, it gets easier. That's for sure. If there's injuries to the Cavs. Let's see. Go get Ken Birch. I'm all about that. I like Ken Birch. He's steady, and he's a good Canadian content. That's right. W Stream, W Fam. All right. Thank you, Fiercey, for the cutoff at 10:30. We're at 11:30. So hopefully we get this done in a half an hour. Kaz is saying, ask Detroit. What? Ask Detroit. Laugh out loud. Chev, you don't get to ghost the fan base all summer and expect to pick up back like nothing happened. I didn't subscribe to that fool. I didn't know that. I mean, you can't expect everybody to grind like me, man. I'm kind of a maniac for doing a Raptors stream 365 days a year throughout the very, very non-basketball part of the year in the middle of the summer. And in some ways, it's crazy that I do that, but it is what I do, and I enjoy it. And I have been able to do it. In some ways, nobody else can do the shit that I'm doing, like a 1,500-day streak of talking about the Raptors every morning at 9:30 in the morning. That's right. I got my milestone 1,500 stream like a week ago, and I didn't even make a big deal out of it. That's just how we do things here. We're just plodding along, and we're just doing it. But yeah, I can't get mad at Chev for taking the summer off. They're not like me. Not like me. It's hard to do what I do. And it's not easy to get up every morning and do the show. I'm telling you right now. Seymour saying somebody called Canadian Border Services on a worker at a construction site in Calgary. Apparently people was running, shaking my head. What? I don't know what this is about. In some ways, everything that's going on in the States, we do not need to mimic up here, Carney. So Mark Carney, we keep it separated. We're not trying to do things like the States. Don't build more prisons. Don't put more into police budgets because you're going to start trying to arrest citizens like the United States is. Like I said in my spiel earlier, we don't need this kind of energy up here. We are a true north, strong and free, and we want to keep it that way. And in some ways, people have rights up here, a charter of rights Don't trample all over that just for some totalitarian dystopian future. In some ways, a lot of countries are electing really good leaders in different places all of a sudden. And Mexico's one of them. We've seen an election this week in Netherlands that went really well. And we need to keep going in this direction. Resisting and rejecting right-wing authoritarian fascists is the new thing that everybody in this world needs to do to save the planet. And it doesn't matter what country you're in. If there's a Pierre Poilievre in your country, you need to reject them and tell them to fuck off. And that's why we need to continue to fight against people like Danielle Smith, Doug Ford, Donald Trump, and Pierre Poilievre, because these are the fuckers that are on the wrong side of things. And we can't be having these kind of people in leadership when AI's coming and there's going to be drastic changes to society, and we'll have irresponsible, fascist, fucked up, money greedy people in charge. That's not the future we need right now. So pick good leadership right now, people. Because in some ways, Trump's already trying to be authoritative by sending troops to polling places and intimidating people to vote for him and people he wants them to vote for. And that's what Putin does. Putin did that shit in Russia for decades now. And that's why Russia is the way it is. So US, you're Russia right now. You're like Russia East. And it's so fucking Russia West, I guess. Russia West. And it's so fucked up that most of y'all can't see it. So fight this shit. You don't want Putin. You don't want Trump. You don't want a Russian America, because that's what he's building right now. He's taking away your free press. He's taking away your free elections. He's trying to intimidate y'all. He's trying to be a dictator. So say, fuck you. We're America, Tea Party. And we threw the tea and we rejected King George. We'll reject wannabe Trump King and his bullshit about wanting to run in 2028. Motherfucker, you won't live till then. You know that. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's see. Kaloy saying this. I don't care about a center right now. I care about the point of attack defense by IQ and Grady being a bonehead on defense. Just everybody clean up your defense and play better as a team. That's what I say. And rebound better. That's part of the defense. Seymour saying, top of the day to all. Champ, Kaz, Eye Candy. Hope you feeling better. Carloy, Raptor Freaks. There you go. I love it. Sheriff's checking in on everybody. I love it. G saying, I did notice our players look too happy after a win. Not totally proud of this, but I was so angry after a loss. The last thing I would want to do is hug my opponents, friends or not. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, I get pissed about that shit too. That's the shit that I used to get pissed at Vince for. Vince Carter. Yeah, 25 years ago. I used to get so pissed at Vince. We'd lose a game and it'd be cutthroat and he'd be like so happy and smiley. And I was like, motherfucker, what's wrong with you, Vince? And then Michelle Carter come out and defend her son. He's just happy in life. That's why he smiles so much. We fucking lost. He should give a shit about that. And him being so happy and smiley like that. No, we don't want that energy around our team. Y'all need to be like, what's his name? Joaquin Noah. Y'all need to be like Giannis and be old school and be like, I hate all the other teams and their opponents. I don't want to be friends with Joel Embiid. Fuck him. I'm Giannis. I'm for the Bucks, and I don't want to be friends with everybody in this league. That's the mentality I respect. The Charles Barkley mentality of old school. Seriously, that does piss me off. And that's part of the reason why I'm a little pissed off that they're being too casual about losing. Is what you're saying right here, G. There shouldn't be any smiling and laughing and happiness after being embarrassingly bad on the court with your defense and your rebounding. No. You should be embarrassed. And you should be kind of like, I want to run and hide because I looked so bad. Is kind of the action y'all should be. Seriously. Sheriff Seymour. That's right. Salute. That's right. Fiercely saying hi. Let's stay positive. Criscom's here. Good to see Criscom. Cleveland has too many injuries for the Raps to lose, but they are the way they look right now. Who knows? No excuse for the defense and rebounding. The Raps' way is to figure this out, though. We've got an opportunity, a clean slate, once again, to write a new story and get things more right. And in some ways, like Criscom says, there's injuries for Cleveland right now, and we could be opportunists, and hopefully this will help. Seymour saying we are going to the playoffs this season. Mark my words. In some ways, it's like the Blue Jays. You know what? This is what I'm saying. Like, look, she's saying it right here. Fun fact: the Blue Jays were last place last season, and turnarounds are very possible. That's what I'm saying right now. The Blue Jays were last in the league in their division last year, and now they're on the cusp of winning another World Series. So things can happen, guys. Things can happen. Seymour saying Trae Young got hurt last night. Anthony Edwards hurt. So many teams are hurt. We need to take advantage of the situation, but we're hurt too. So yeah, well, that's just the NBA. It's a tough league. It's a tough league, and that's why you need a good, well-built depth to your team, Bobby Webster. And well, it's like how many games in the season we already see a huge glaring weakness for the Raptors roster. So fix it, Webster. This is your job. This isn't the coach's job. This isn't the player's job. This is the GM's job. And in some ways, Bobby Webster, you have work to do right now. And that's shoring up the phalanx of defensive rebounding for the Raptors by giving us some C depth. There's no depth at the C position on the Raptors. You change that, Bobby Webster. That's your job. That's your fucking job, Bobby. You go on and do it. Kaz is saying, how many games in? That's right. That's right. And we're lazy? I don't know. In some ways, they got to wake up and get it together. These young players, they're young overall, and maybe they're being too casual. Maybe they're just enjoying the NBA life. Maybe Colin Murray Boyles is happy. I got that bag. I made it. I'm so happy. I've just made the league. Don't be just happy about that, motherfucker. Go and try and win. Get after it. Seriously, you need DeRozan code. You need to fucking come after it and don't rest on your laurels. Oh, I'm so happy I'm in the league. I'm a professional. Fuck that. Go and create yourself into more of an NBA player so you have more of a future in this league. Seriously, man. Seriously, don't just get the finish line because you got drafted, motherfuckers. You need to fucking continue to play and get better. That's what I'm saying right there. Raptors Champs is saying I could see us put more time into Shed's development to be like Lowry. Well, we are already doing that, and he is the incumbent. I mean, that's the thing. In some ways, Emmanuel is a luxury. It's great if he works out for us and he stays here. But in some ways, he's not totally necessary. In some ways, he's an easy trade piece and an easy chip to trade in to maybe get a bigger chip. And in some ways, Shed's already made Davion Mitchell expendable last year in his rookie year. He could do this again to quickly. And I've seen such good promise with Chucky Hepburn that I would feel like we have a good backup point guard coming up underneath Shed. So I'm just saying, if this is a contingency plan that we have to go towards for whatever reason this season, I feel comfortable with Shed graduating into being our starting point guard in the next 2 years if we have to. So we'll just have to see how this goes. In some ways, we don't want to rush him. We don't want to overdo this, but he is that good. And he's doing that well for us. And in some ways, you don't necessarily want a flashy point guard that's really high level. You just want a guy who does the job, the standard job. And in some ways, that's the difference between Quickly and Shed. So I don't know. Quickly, get going, man. You want to be a Raptor with RJ? Get going and prove us all wrong and kick some major ass and be the right fit for the Raptors and stay a Raptor. That's what I want. I don't want you off the team, but we do have options. And in some ways, the point guard depth is very nice on the Raptors team all of a sudden, where we didn't have good point guard depth with Malachi Flynn around for years. But we do have it actually pretty good right now. Hepburn is a really interesting player. And I feel like he's a special one like Freddie was. Seriously, I think there's something to him. G saying last year in their division, they were last with 74 wins and 88 losses. That's right. That's right. Seymour saying, I think I might cry when they retire Kyle's number. I probably will too. Seriously, that's an important thing for a Raptors fan to see the GOAT get his jersey retired and feel all the emotions. Because Kyle Lowry, in some ways, what he is built on is what the Raptors need more than ever right now. What he is built of and who he is. We need that energy right now. Oh my gosh. Randolph's here. Randolph Phillips, good morning to you. Thank you for your words of wisdom. Game day blessings, beloved Raptor Freaks family. Life is given to live. How you live is totally up to you. Do good, live right, or make bad choices. It's all up to you. Yeah, life in some ways is an experiment. And you trial and error, In some ways, there's going to be failures and successes. And you can learn from both. Just have grace in how you deal with them. And you know what? I think the most important thing Randolph said here is do good, live right. And that's what more people need to do is the right thing and do good things. Sometimes the right thing is not the thing people are doing because they're getting more for themselves by not doing the right thing. And that's where there's really insidious evil in this world right now. Stop being selfish and greedy for yourself. Do the right thing for all of us. And let's think more on a global conscious scale of society in our community and the people around us. If you're a developer that wants to strip the land of its trees and its minerals just for your own gain, but you're taking away a pristine, thousands of years old tract of land that really should be for everybody, including the nature and the animals, you're a fucker because you're destroying something that nature and God, the creator, made for thousands of years just for you to get a little bit of temporary money right now. That's not the right attitude. And that's not the right way to be, is to take the resources, the natural resources of nature, are not for us to subjugate and exploit and make ourselves rich off of. In fact, that's where the world has totally gone wrong as a divergence from Native American and indigenous thoughts and beliefs about our place with nature. Is we're not here to subjugate it and enrich ourselves off of using it. It's a real messed up thing in some ways. Let's keep going. Thank you for the words of wisdom. Blessing the Phillips family, all the Raptor Freak families. That's right. Caloyson, I still think we have the right players to get the job done. This will all be on Darko. Not all of it. A lot of it's on Bobby right now. Play Shed, Jacoby, and the battle more. Hold IQ and Grady accountable. They all get held accountable, and they're all hearing it. Trust me. In the background. And hopefully they come correct tonight and we see a totally different effort and we'll have a little bit more of feeling better about things. That's the problem right now. We didn't see any signs of correction or going in the right direction yet, but we can start to see this tonight if they reorient them and they make a recommitment to what they're supposed to be in their basketball identity. And that's what we need to see tonight. And some of it may be baby steps. It may not necessarily add up to a W tonight, but if we see the initial starting of it again, we'll all feel better. I know we will. Kareem saying maybe RJ will run the locker room and watch the first inning of the Jays game like he did against the Rockets. I won't be mad at that. They're going to put the Jays game on in Cleveland. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want them to be distracted. They can enjoy and celebrate with the Blue Jays either tonight when they win late, or tomorrow if they have to play a game 7 and beat them then. So either way, I want the Raptors have their own shit to worry about. They don't need to be watching the Jays in the back. They don't. James is saying Jacoby played 16 minutes last game. Darko has to up his playing time 20 to 25 a night. I like that, and I agree. I feel like Jacoby's been playing solidly amongst all the bad defense, and that in some ways you reward that, Darko, and you increase Walter's minutes. I'd like to see this. I'm with you on that. Kaloy saying the game changed when Jacoby was the point of attack defender. Rockets with KD could not score for like 4 or 5 possessions and then reverted back with Grady and IQ. I recognize that too. And that's why I'm really high on Walter right now. And I feel like out of all the Raptors are not playing right, Walter is out of all of them. Kaloy saying, I love this channel and everyone in here. Yeah, we need a big, but we have every player we need to win. Darko should be able to turn the ship. Yeah, I mean, in some ways, like I said, it's better we get exposed for the weaknesses now than like in the playoffs or at the end of the season. In some ways, it's like now Bobby knows that this is a huge problem and that if Yak is out, we're fucked. I mean, he should have known this from the last couple of years already, but hopefully he can adjust this now when it's easier to fix it and get things ready for the whole entire season by getting a player. I really do feel like you have to get another big, Bobby. And you're kidding yourself if you think you can run on fumes with a small lineup. And like we said, you're risking problems for our players when they play out of position. And we don't want that shit to happen. Seriously, you're going to make one problem turn into another problem because you're not rectifying the original problem. And that's something we don't want as Raptors fans. No, we don't. That's right. Wayne saying this, sorry, 140 characters. My disagreement with your take on IQ is about him tanking regarding his effort, not going near his personal life apart from the girlfriend. I think he needs releasing. What are you trying to say? That this man needs to get laid? Wayne Strader, I'm going to give you a dunk. Listen, I don't know what kind of Christian Emmanuel is. If he's like a devout Christian where he is not a virgin right now, like AC Green, you think he's doing the AC Green right now? Is that what you're saying? That's crazy, man. You think he needs release, that he's too hyped up? He's running around the court too crazy because he needs release? Wow, Wayne, I was not expecting that. And that is why he said he needs a girlfriend.
Okay, Wayne, you got a dunk, 114. Yeah, okay. I mean, we'll put this in the record that Wayne thinks that Emmanuel needs a girlfriend to get released so he can chill out. That's a new one. That's a new one. I mean, I don't know what Emmanuel's doing in his private personal life. It's none of my business. It's none of my business. If he's a AC Green virgin in the NBA, that's fine. If he does have girlfriends or multiple whatever he's doing in his life, if he, whatever he feels like he needs to do, and he follows Christ, and it's his life. It's his life. I'm not judging him. That's hilarious, man. That's where you were going. it's like, why is he bringing up the girlfriend? That's why. That's hilarious. Kaloy saying, haha, IQ needs to rub one of those off one before. Oh, that's disgusting, Kaloy. All right, you're getting a strike for being gross. All right, let's keep going. All right, Neil saying this. I'm not throwing Darko under the bus. What I'm pointing out is when you go down the path of IQ freezing players out, it points right back to the coach for managing the players. No, because in some ways IQ is a point guard and he can play favorites. If he doesn't want to pass to certain people, he won't. He can see them and you say, oh, there's Grady. He's open on the wing. Well, throw it to him. Oh, no, I'm going to throw it to RJ the other way instead. That's the stuff I'm talking about. And that's not necessarily the direction of Darko. Once again, the players make their split-second decisions instinctually sometimes on their own on the court. And Darko can set them up with a mental framework of how they should make their decision-making. But ultimately, they're still the ones making the decisions on the court in the fly in that moment. And Darko has no control over that. So that's what I'm saying. There's a little bit, it seems like he was freezing out Grady in the last game. And before he's been allegations that he's freezing out Brandon late in the game. So just watch for this shit. And if we see it, understand, you know what? Maybe Darko will tell him, why didn't you get Grady? He was open the corner. You could have thrown it to Grady, but you didn't. You ignored him. That's all I'm saying. We've noticed people open on the court and Emmanuel not getting them the ball. And that's why we bring up the idea of freezing out. That's it right there. That's it. Fiercely saying Darko does hold them accountable. We see it on TV at certain games. Camera guys are quick. When they're coming off the court and Darko's talking to them, he's giving them accountable criticism. Like when they're walking off the court, he's saying encouraging things to them, but he's also saying, you know what, you need to do this better. And why aren't you doing this better? So every time he's talking to a player, it's useful. It's not like he's just glazing them. It's like, he's saying something that's probably very worthwhile that can help them. It's just that we need to see more the coaching, the decisions with the coaching and the plays and the stuff that's get more results right now. We're not getting results. That's a problem. That's a problem right there. That's right. Until I hear about a players only meeting, no cause for concern on my end. Let's go. Yeah, and there hasn't been that. There might need to be one, though, if they reel off a really long losing streak right now. Garrett and Scotty may need to come and say, hey, guys, let's be more committed to being professional basketball players. Trevor's saying we kick our team when they're down. They turn around and get mad when others talk bad about them. If you don't believe in your team, what do you expect from others? I mean, I like you standing up for them, stuff like that. I mean, there is a fine line of what we have to do right now. We can't be accepting of the way the team's playing right now, but also at the same time, we have to be positive and in our critical, constructive criticism. Seriously. In some ways, I get it. People want to fix the team. We all have ideas for how to do it. It's just we can go about it in non-toxic and toxic ways. Some people may say what I did yesterday was toxic. I don't think so. I was trying to be fair. And I was like reading the riot act and saying, Bobby, you need to get a center. That was really my main point yesterday. And I started at the top. I didn't come after. I did talk about some of the players specifically. And I did talk about Darko to an extent. But I started at the top. And the responsibility is at the top with building the team and making sure that the roster is a team that can be competitive and doesn't have any holes. Well, we have a hole, Bobby. And that means it's your job. That's your job. And I'll start at the top right there at the top. That's right. Wayne saying this, Lex and G, both of your takes are excellent and will keep me happy. It's a matter of balance. Offensively, we have improved and we have lost some defensive appreciation. I totally concur. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, this is great because we're getting more offensive capability and power in the league, but there's a certain forgetting of the defensive basis that we've started from, the foundation. of Darko's house is based on defense. And in some ways, we've forgotten about that, and we need to revert back to that and remember that. And that's part of what the next part. Dap to good game. Dap to Wayne also. Dap. That's right. Cut off. Thank you, Trevor. Yeah, we got well, yeah, I'm over 24 minutes now. Yikes. I am been talking. Neil saying this, our rebounds dipped in our last 2 games and it trashed our average. This is indicative of Jakob not playing. It is not our rebounding norm. Yeah, and these guys need to step up and realize when he's gone, they have to do more to attack the boards as a group. And they just, I guess nobody got the memo. Hello, this is where we use our intelligence, our IQ. We think about, well, this is how this changes when Yak is not here. Who's going to come and take care of these duties? And in some ways, you guys can't just play brain dead and just play a singular way all the time. You should be adjusting what you're doing on the court to fit what the needs are for the team. And if you guys aren't smart enough to realize defense and rebounding is something you guys need to focus on more with Yak out, well, then I do worry about our team IQ. Because supposedly we're supposed to be a very smart team. Why the fuck do y'all not get the memo on what you need to do when Yak's out? That's what I'm saying right there. 10 dunks for Sergeant Wayne, please. All right, we can do that. We can do that. Seymour Pape is throwing the whole rack of basketballs up. And amazingly, Wayne Strainer has a second and third and fourth and fifth effort to dunk every single ball. It's almost like he's just taking it and throwing it like it's a 3-point contest. And Wayne's just elevating each time and jumping every time. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Seymour, Wayne, dunk, dunk. So, that 10 dunks is 30 points. So this man's jumping up to 144 on the dunk charts. Wow. That was impressive feat of athleticism, Sergeant. Impressive. That's right. Stargate saying at Wayne, I agree. CMB works with Shed. Mamu surprisingly also works with Shed. Shed is just more of a classic point guard. And in some ways, I don't know. It's weird because IQ works really good with Yak. And I wish that they had made that connection really strong from the start. But with Yak's back hurting, they couldn't do the IQ Yak kind of stuff they've been doing. It's just so good. So good. But yeah, IQ's got it with RJ. He's got it with a couple people, but he doesn't have it totally like Shed does with other people. And that's something that needs to be cultivated and gelled more. I really agree with that. Yeah. Kareem saying this, trigger warning. Okay, today's game should be sponsored by amphetamines, methamphetamines, cocaine, MDMA, and Red Bull. That's the energy I want to see from our boys right out the gate. There was a player who used to play for the Orlando Magic named Daryl Armstrong, who went to FSU, Fayetteville State University. And he was a kicker for the football team. He was a kicker. Like he'd punt the ball for the football team, but he played basketball. Daryl Armstrong was a backup point guard for the Magic back in the day, and he was crazy. You know why? Because the man drank a whole pot of coffee and he'd eat chocolate bars before the game. And at halftime, he was eating chocolate bars and drinking coffee and staying majorly caffeinated. And that was the way that Daryl Armstrong, he was a very active player, running all over the place. I think he's on the Mavs bench as an assistant coach right now. I think he is. I think that's where he is with Jason Kidd. But yeah, Daryl Armstrong is hilarious. So maybe they need to do the Daryl Armstrong thing. Maybe they need to call up Siakam. Siakam, yo, Pascal, it's me, Scotty. Hey, do you think you could send me a case of Red Bull? Really? Thanks. All right, thanks. All right, my guy. All right, bro. All right, broski. All right. Yeah, when did that happen? Siakam sends a case of Red Bull to the Raptors. He says, I see what's going on up there with you guys. Here you go. Cloy's laughing about it, laughing at Kareem too. So pissed he wants the Raptors to take meth. No, we ain't taking no meth. No. No meth. None of that shit. No. Fiercely saying Kenny Smith has the tattoo thing on his head. He has it on his head? The tattooed hair on Kenny Smith's head? Inside the NBA made fun of him yesterday as they were ranking Jaylen Brown number 1 on Shaq and Fool. That's hilarious. I mean, the bullying on that show is hilarious, even though Shaq is so mean. Charles Barkley's hilarious. I mean, it's just a fun show. Trevor's saying Kendrick Perkins said Raptors still going to be a top 6 seed. Don't matter the 1 and 4. I like that. He's sticking with them. That's right. If anybody else is jumping off the ship with the Raptors, Lex, Trevor, And a lot of the Raptor freaks, along with Kendrick Perkins, ain't getting off the ship. We're still riding with them. We still trust them. We still believe in them. That's right. The Kendrick is right. That's what Seymour's saying. I'm right. I'm with you guys with that. Kareem's saying, you guys know that coworker that always moving around looking like they are always busy, but really ain't doing shit. That's how I feel about IQ. He's running around with happy feet doing a whole lot of nothing. I mean, that's why I was saying it's like he's doing a lot on the court, but it's not adding up to winning stuff. And that's what I'm worried about with you quickly. It's like start playing the way you play, but in a winning way, because this isn't winning. This isn't winning. And in some ways, you're an explosive player, then get a lot of points a lot. Well, we've had some deficits where you could be a man and step up and just take it on your own hands and change things for the Raptors because you're like that. And that's what I'm saying, Emmanuel. Seriously, prove to me that you give a shit and fucking go kill a lead for the other team by yourself, because I've seen you do this in your career before. And in some ways, we want to see that you're doing something that's leading towards winning. Because right now, a lot of the shit you're doing on the court isn't winning basketball and it's not leading to winning. And that's a problem. That's a problem right there. That's right. Mugarbe's here. Good to see Mugarbe Lennon, our guy in the prairies out west. See what he's saying. Grand Rise in Raptor Freaks is not true. Chev did some streaming this summer. Okay, so he did do some streaming this summer? Okay. Well, I mean, all the best to Chev. I wish him happiness and health. And please go easy on the Raptors, NBA Chev. Please, got to keep them separated. All right. Kaloy's saying, I'm excited when this all gets figured out. The way Scotty and Ingram and RJ is scoring right now is amazing. That's right. It's a work in progress. We have played 5 games of 82, and there is a whole lot more to do. And we got a lot more to see. And well, Cleveland tonight, Halloween night, in-season tournament. And yeah, it's looking like it might be ripe for the picking for the Raptors to get it. That's right. James is saying Chucky might be a better shooter than Shed from watching his college highlights. They are both tough defenders. I like that. And I like that they're both fundamentals point guards to set up their teammates. Chucky, I don't want to put too much on his plate. It's obvious he's going to be running the 905 this year. And hopefully he gets a really good experience there. And he's very capable and he does badass things as the point guard for the 905 and Andrew Jones this year. And well, who knows? Down the road, maybe he's graduating to Shed spot. Seriously, as the backup point guard for the Raptors. So that's what we want to see. Huge pause, Wayne, on your issues with what you think Manuel needs. That's what Fiercey said. There's a pause there. Kareem said, during every presser, Darko needs to state that the team is getting exposed because lack of height, depth in the most polite way. Maybe Bobby will look at the man in the mirror and make that change. Okay, MJ. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Did you know that Brandon Ingram, that is one of his top 5 favorite songs of all time? He did an interview recently and he was naming his favorite songs and he said Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror. That's a good song. That says a lot to me. And seriously, because, Man in the Mirror is a song about personal responsibility and taking responsibility for your life and yourself and trying to be a better place and a better change for the world. And in some ways, that's very much correlated with our words of wisdom from Jones and Phillips. And in some ways, it's like, that's what it's like. That's what it's like. Michael Jackson, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Because, you can only control yourself. So if you want to make the world a better place, you got to make that change in you because you were part of that change collectively. And I love that. You bring up Michael Jackson. Brandon Ingram, you impressed me that's one of your top 5 favorite songs of all time. Seriously. Stargate saying if Bobby can somehow acquire Walker Kessler without giving up core players, that would help. Yeah. I'm for a green light on this. Kessler's on the market. And if Bobby can make a move where he gets Walker Kessler to come to our team all of a sudden just for some more backup up front, seriously, he may even be the starter soon because he's a young guy and he's getting better. And Yak, I don't know. I hope that he's not going the wayside just because of his back now. This is a bad sign. So this could be good insurance, Bobby. And this isn't a center project. This man's been in the league for a little while. He knows how to play, and he is available. And we may have the right players to trade to go the other way. Maybe 2 of our bench guys go the other way to Utah and we get Walker Kessler. That would be awesome. Maybe it's a straight up trade for one of our starters. As long as it's not RJ, I'm fine with it. As long as it's not RJ. Yeah, we're going to do 2 classic cards today. Seymour, don't worry. We're going to get 2 of them because we missed ours yesterday. Dunk for the dunk champ, Kareem. Oh, look at that. He's looking out for the guy he's ahead of at this point. I mean, let me look at the standings real quick. We got Wayne at 144 now. We got Trevor at 159. Stargate's got 114. Smooth's got 187. Now, where is Seymour and where is Kareem? Monique's 123. Kareem's got 245. So he's going to go to 248. 248 on the dunk charts for this year, man. And you know it all rolls back at the end of the year. It's not through the season. Whoever's going to have it at the end of the New Year's is going to be the dunk champ for this year. Now, Seymour, you are at 249. So you're currently 1 point dunk ahead of 248 Kareem. 249 and 248 is where y'all are at the top of the dunk charts. Wow, look at that. You put him 3 closer to you. Raptors champ saying BI is an old soul. He's from the South. Yeah. I mean, I have something in the works that's crazy. I don't want to talk about it exactly because I don't know if it's going to happen for sure. The people in the Discord and the Facebook group know about it because I talked about it there. I have a connection that could be coming through for me with a very interesting thing that could happen in the near future involving the Raptors. And I don't want to divulge it on the channel right now. In some ways, the members that know what I'm talking about from seeing it in the chat, until it happens, I don't want to talk about it on the show. But there's something in the works that could be very, very interesting for Lex that has to do with Brandon Ingram, actually, which is very, very interesting. Kareem Thomas saying, thanks, Seymour, but I alley-ooped the ball off the backboard for you to dunk it. What? Okay, look at this selflessness. This is what the world needs now. What the world needs now is more alley-oops for dunks. It doesn't matter who's at the top. Whoa. All right, you did that. So Seymour's going to 252. 252 on the dunk charts, 252, 248. Look out. It's close. Oh, Brian's back. King's back, guys. To the point. Check out To the Point. He did some weird show on LeBron's decision the other day. I want to say this, Brian. Y'all were misogynists on that episode. You guys were anti-women, and some of the shit y'all were saying, you and Jose, were absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. And honestly, I lost respect for you for that little episode of the way you were talking about women in that episode with Jose about that situation. Yeah, that wasn't right. That wasn't right, Brian. In some ways, I would say I denounced that because it was misogyny, is what I'm going to say right now. I don't even remember exactly what y'all were saying, but I was like, man, Brian's so off on this take. This is misogyny. This is not right. This is like anti-women bullshit. So yeah, I wasn't cool with that. And I was disappointed in Jose for participating in it with you, you know. But that's just my little personal side opinion on the thing you did with him on Hennessy and LeBron James decision too. I don't even remember what the subject was, but y'all were really, really gross in the way you were talking about women for a second there. I was like, man, you're not gonna get followers being like this, man. That's absolutely not the right attitude. But anyway, he's saying, what's up, Freak Nation? Go, Jays. Let's go see what happens against the Cavs. That's right. I guess you're live streaming again tonight. Y'all want to watch the game with Brian? I guess he live streams on his channel now during the game. So, yeah, check that out. Let's see. Seymour saying, salute all the Raptor Freaks champs. There you go. Seymour, you're up there. You have a real challenge here. It's like you're Dominique Wilkins on Michael Jordan right now, man. You seriously, the dunk championship is up for grabs this year. This is like a classic Wilkins versus Jordan dunk competition right now. And Seymour is Dominique Wilkins. And Kareem is Michael Jordan. Look out. Who's Spud Webb? Who's Spud Webb? That's what I'm wondering right there. There you go. Yeah, Kareem's saying Lex is going streaking. That's the big news. No, I'm not. This is a weird narrative he brings up every once in a while that he thinks I'm going to drop my clothes and run around naked on the Raptors playing court. I will not do this. I love the Raptors too much to get banned from that arena for life. Come on, man. Seriously, not doing this. Seymour saying, go Jays, go Raptors, go Tempo. And speaking of the Tempo, it is official. The Tempo have signed Sandy Brondello as their head coach. And this is fantastic. Now we've got a head coach, we've got a GM, and we've got an expansion draft coming up, and we'll have some players soon. And also good to hear from the superfan Monique Lawrence in her news that the Chloe Kitts had successful surgery on her leg to be okay. And that's fantastic. That's fantastic stuff. Brian's saying, live streaming both games, bro. We were saying how WNBA players need to chill about the money and Angel constantly talking. No, it wasn't exactly that, man. It was about an NBA story. It wasn't a WNBA thing. You were saying something that was very sexist, very, very sexist. I mean, you can have your personal beliefs, but I can too. And I can call you out and say you're a sexist and a misogynist for some of the shit you say on your show sometimes. And that's my right. I mean, I don't have to like your content. And especially if you're coming at women in a weird, gross way. Yeah, that's not the way to build your show, man. I'm just saying. It's not the way to do it. But y'all check him out. You're going to be watching the Jays game too? That's a lot, man. That's a lot. I did end up watching Survivor yesterday. That was fun. I had too many things to watch on Wednesday, but the Raptors were always priority number one. That's right. All right, let me get on my tabs real quick. I know I have more to do real quick. Let's do the straight goods on Canadian goods. Guys, on the east end of Toronto, there's a little bakery called San Remo. San Remo Bakery has cakes and desserts and bakes bread. They're family-owned Italian bakery in Toronto with full Canadian operations. In fact, it's called one of the best bakeries in the city of Toronto. So if you want some good baked goods, go and check them out. I believe they're over by Royal York, over in Mississauga, over there on that end near Etobicoke. So if you want to go to the physical store, that's where you'd have to go. I believe they have deliveries and they sell their products in other places too. So San Remo Bakery, straight goods, Canadian bakery, Toronto bakery, one of the best Italian bakeries in the country of Canada. San Remo. Go and check them out. Seriously, y'all. Go check them out. All right, let's see. Raptors Reddit has been out of pocket. I'm not even going to go there because there's just too much bullshit they'd be posting on Raptors Reddit right now. When we're down, I don't need to see it because it's going to make me mad and it'll be stupid to see and it'll make me there's no reason for me to go look at that, man. There's no reason for me to go look at that. All right, check on your fantasy teams, y'all. We're in the thick of the second week, and right now I've got a good lead over Andrew. It looks like Nins is beating Bryce. Cool Cat is losing to Fiercey. Logical Raptors Fanatic losing to Jason Dukes. Omari is losing to Amit. We've got HC beating Kareem. Kaz is losing to MK. That's a big matchup right there. Trucker Kaz versus Meredith. Woo-wee! Those are champions. And wow, Meredith's got a huge score already. Kaz is having a tough time in that one. And James is beating Gerald in the last matchup. The West Conference that we got there. That's right. Happy birthday to, first of all, Clifford Rozier, who passed away in 2018, original Raptor from the original time around our team from Bradenton, Florida. He died of a heart attack in 2018 at the age of 45. So we'll remember Clifford on his birthday today. It's sad stuff, man. He's been gone for 7 years now. But he was a Raptor in the original, like in 1997, he was a Raptor. So he's a very early Raptor. Clifford Rozier, man, we remember you on your birthday. Also, a big happy birthday to Raptors All-Star Antonio Davis. It's his birthday today. He is a Halloween birthday baby. Of course, Antonio Davis played for the Raptors for 6 years, 310 games in a Raptors uniform. Those were in different stints. He was on our team for a little while, and then he left, and then he came back. So he was on our team 2 different times. And then also he averaged about 13 points per game. He had his highest points per game average in a Raptors uniform during his career. So salute to Antonio Davis on his birthday. He's a Halloween baby, y'all. How old is Antonio today? Let me just check it. Antonio is, wow, he's up there. He's 57, y'all. Antonio Davis is 57, y'all. Wow. He's really up there. I didn't realize he was that old. All right, let's keep going with the classic cards. So please, first full name answers. We're going to do 2 cards because I missed doing one yesterday because I got cut off early. So get ready. I just pulled 2 of them really quick out, and we'll do them right in a row real quick. All right, here's the first one. I should look at who it is. So that, oh, wow. This is fucked up, y'all. Here you go. First card of the day, and you'll know why it's fucked up. Here we go. Who's that, y'all? Full name answer. Classic card of the day. This is messed up. Seriously. Seriously. It's Christian Wood. That's right. What the fuck? I was like, maybe this is a sign. Bobby, get Christian Wood. Because he's on the classic card. It's Kaz. Kaz got it first. It's 100 points because it's not a normally easy card. So Kaz is going to get 100 points for Christian Wood. That is so weird, man. That is so weird. Like, seriously, I don't bring up Christian Wood on this channel every day. Why the hell would we talk about him so much earlier and now he's the classic card? I don't know. This is the serendipity of life. That's it. Kaz is the trucker that's getting it. 100 points to Kaz on the score for Raptor Freak Trivia for getting Christian Wood. That is so crazy, man. What if they did sign Christian Wood now, too? All right, let me make sure. Oh, yeah, this guy, too. All right, here we go. Second card of the day. Let's see. This isn't the guy who's gotten the surgery, right? No, that's a different guy, but it's a similar guy. There's a guy who's having testicular surgery, but this is the other guy. Yeah, that's right. Nikola Jovic. Jovic. She spelled it right. She got it right. Fiercey got it. Nikola Jovic of the Miami Heat is the next player. Let's see. Nikola Jovic, and that would be Fiercey. Let me write it in. Yeah, I'm glad we caught up on the classic card. It sometimes doesn't feel right when we the classic card doesn't get done because of cutoff. So Fiercey's getting this one, and I'll do 100 on this one too. Why not? 100 points for that. She didn't say Nikola Topic. That would be the wrong Nikola if she did say that. All right, let's do the wrap up, y'all. Let's do the wrap up. Let's see. What are y'all saying here? Let's see. Like Kareem's saying you have superpowers, or Fiercey's saying I have superpowers. I do have superpowers. I have the figures from when I was a kid. I still have them too. Superman, Batman, Robin, Aquaman, Hawkman, Flash, Green Lantern. Yeah, I have the superpowers. Martian Manhunter, Brainiac, Joker, Penguin, Lex Luthor, Calabac. I got all the superpowers. I collected them when I was a kid. I used to have the Hall of Justice too. I don't know where that went, but I still have the superpowers in a box somewhere around here. I could take them down to a store and probably sell them at this point and get some money for them. Yeah, old Batman from like the 80s action figures, superpowers. You know, 80s kids know what I'm talking about right now. I do have superpowers. I literally have the superpowers figures. Cream Sand Lex is Houdini. This has always been happening. I don't know how this happens. I mean, the weirdest one maybe was the one when we got Oliver Miller's card on the day he died. That was the weirdest one to me, that we pulled Oliver Miller's card, which is not a recent player, on the day he died. That was crazy to me. But we've had some weird ones. There was like the Bill Laimbeer mask one. There was a James Harden one that was really strange that we got 2 days in a row. Yeah, it's weird. It's crazy. It is crazy, man. It is crazy. Shaq Lindsay saying it is a sin to release. Damn, I better repent. Well, in some ways, I get why Wayne's saying this for IQ. Maybe he's too tensed up. I don't know. Maybe he needs a massage with Yak. Like, you know, happy ending. I don't know. Does that count? Is that anti-Christian if you go and get a massage and you get a happy ending? Like, you could technically say, no, this is therapy. And they're just massaging a certain part of my body, you know? I wonder about that. Like, is that technically a bad thing? I guess it is because it's sex still, right? I don't know. Either way, I mean, maybe we can figure this out for Emmanuel without having a girlfriend. Maybe he just needs happy ending massages. I don't know. That may be right. I don't know. James is saying it might happen. Yeah. Getting Christian Wood, it could. I don't know. Hopefully we get a center. Either way, that's what I want, you know? All right. Good job on the classic card, Cass and Fiercey. Let me do my rundown once again, real quick, on what's going on with the game tonight. The injuries for the Cavs are, you know, they're pretty substantial in some ways. They really are. Max Strus is out for sure. Darius Garland is out for sure. Jared Allen is questionable with a finger injury. Sam Merrill is out for sure. And Donovan Mitchell is questionable with a hamstring injury. So that's 3 out of their big 4. Evan Mobley is the one for sure. And if they only have Evan Mobley of their 3 out of 4, we have a good chance to beat them tonight, guys. And I want to see that. The referees for tonight are interesting. They're very down the line. Pretty good crew. Justin Van Dyne is the crew chief. He favors the Cavs. Then Scott Twardowski is the second ref. He favors the Cavs. And the third ref is Brett Nansel, who's absolutely a great ref for the Raptors. And he favors the Raptors. So, yeah, keys to the victory to win the game. I don't care. Whatever your game plan is, Darko, wow me. Impress me. Show me that you're a good coach and having a fantastic game plan for how to beat the Cavs tonight and execute it and do it. In some ways, I could tell y'all to beat them, but it's like, why? It seems like y'all just need to figure out how to play basic basketball right now. And forget about me telling you the keys of the victory, the win, the path to the success of the win, the victory. No, Y'all just play solid basketball, recommit yourselves to rebounding and defense, and let's start at a baseline level of starting to progress back up into being who we're supposed to be. That's all I ask for you guys. If you win tonight, I'll be over the moon and I'll be so happy because it's an in-season tournament game. And that'll be really good because this is the toughest one out of the 4 that we have to play. And if we win this first one after losing 4 games straight, this is really boding well for us to maybe compete in the in-season tournament this year. Because I'm telling you, Washington, Atlanta, and then the Pacers here, who have not won yet, those are 3 teams that we can beat. And we could be 4-0 in the in-season tournament, Raptors. So in some ways, does the gumption of playing in the in-season tournament tonight get you up for the game and try harder and look like you're not so fucking casual out there? I hope so, because you have something more to play for than just an 82 games game. This is a special in-season tournament game. And y'all need to fucking go beat the best team in the East tonight, even though y'all look like the worst team in the East the last 4 games. So let's do it, and get to it, and get it done. That's right. Stargate saying Garland is out again. Did they play the Magic recently? Those Magic players always seem to injure him. I've heard that before. Yeah, Cream saying MTV just killed ridiculousness. It was a great run. Yeah, MTV's dead. Apparently MTV died in Europe just in the last week or so. The whole experiment of music television is over. I kind of makes sense. I mean, it's been gone for a long time already anyway. It's not like it was playing music videos at a certain point, but it's sad. An institution like music television that we grew up on from our generation is just, it doesn't exist anymore, guys. It's kind of like Toys R Us and different things go like that. Blockbuster Video. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. All right, y'all. I appreciate everybody for joining me and spending almost 3 hours with me this morning. Kaloy saying, IQ, please remember to have a release before the game. We need to be focused. Oh my gosh, man. I don't want to continue these jokes with this. This is a one-day thing. The whole motif of IQ and release. We don't need to do this anymore after today. As Brandon said at the interview at Media Day, pause. Okay? No more. No more. All right? No more. Oh, no more. Kaloy. No. All right, Cream, I'm not even going to say that. Give him a hand. No, come on now. What are you doing, Cream Thomas? Let's go. Raptors win in-season tournament against Cleveland tonight. Hopefully they're missing some players and we got a good chance to beat them. And also, let's go Blue Jays. Yeah, don't mess around. Do it in 6 games, just like the Raptors did. Win it in 6 games with this in your home field in front of their home fans, and we will party on a Friday night in Toronto on a Halloween to boot. Woo! Let's go, Blue Jays. Yeah, get that championship tonight. Don't mess around. If you have to do it tomorrow, there's a lot more pressure. Do it tonight. Don't fuck around. Beat the Dodgers tonight so that this World Series is just here and done. And everybody, and we'll see Milbester slink back into the chat at some point and say, wow, you guys beat the Dodgers. The Yankees couldn't beat the Dodgers, but the Blue Jays could beat the Dodgers in the World Series. The Yankees lose. All right, y'all, let's go Raptors. Beat the Cavs tonight. Darko, show us something. Scotty, show us something. Bobby, go get a center. Come on now. Bobby, what are you doing?